You are looking live at the Valley of the Sun. This is Phoenix, Arizona, as we approach the sold-out Mortgage Matchup Center for the kickoff to the road to WrestleMania. We welcome you to the 2026 Royal Rumble. It is a highly anticipated night here in Phoenix. A stacked card, which of course will be headlined by the franchise John Cena's final outing here at the Royal Rumble. The man who is set to retire in March at WrestleMania makes the ring walk at the Royal Rumble for the very final time tonight. It is your main event as John Cena defends the undisputed WWE Championship against the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes. Also coming your way, courtesy of Monday Night Raw, the World Tag Team titles are on the line, and they have been waged war between the Bloodline and the Wyatt Six. These two teams meet again, and the ante has been up. It's a tables matchup right here tonight in Phoenix. For months, Lyra Valkyria has been owed an opportunity to get back the WWE Women's Championship that she lost at Bad Blood. The prodigy, Roxanne Perez, the champion today, stands between Lyra and the gold. Will Lyra take back the championship, or will the prodigy reign on? And who will be the woman who punches her ticket to the grandest stage of them all? Right here tonight, we will get an answer to that question. Who will be the last woman standing in the 30-woman Royal Rumble matchup? Who's headed to WrestleMania? The phenomenal AJ Styles has been extremely vocal that he only has so many opportunities left to get back the heavyweight championship of the world. Standing in Styles' way is the Archer of Infamy, Damian Priest, a SmackDown main event for the heavyweight title. And kicking things off in moments, it is the 30-man Royal Rumble matchup. Superstars from Raw, superstars from SmackDown, but only one spot in the main event of WrestleMania. Who will headline in Las Vegas? Who will be the last man standing in the Royal Rumble?
And now, WWE Royal Rumble.
Saturday night, March the 7th. Sunday night, March the 8th. Live from Allegiant Stadium, it will be WrestleMania in Las Vegas. But tonight, inside a capacity Mortgage Matchup Center in the Valley of the Sun, Phoenix, Arizona, we welcome you to the kickoff to the road to WrestleMania. This is the 2026 Royal Rumble.
The following contest is the Royal Rumble match. Now, the two superstars that drew number 1 and number 2 will start the ring at the same time. Other superstars will join in the order they drew. This will continue until all 30 superstars have entered the ring. Eliminations occur when you are thrown over the top rope with both feet landing on the floor. The last superstar in the ring will be declared the Royal Rumble winner and will go on to face the champion of their choice at WrestleMania!
And what bigger way to kick off tonight's festivities than with the 30-man Royal Rumble match? And drawing the unfortunate honor of entrance number 1, the visionary, the revolutionary, Seth freaking Rollins!
Introducing the participants. First, from Davenport, Iowa, weighing in at 217 pounds, Seth freaking Rollins!
It was this past Monday night on Raw that Seth Rollins reminded us that it has been nearly 2 years since he held championship gold. Rollins said he is hell-bent on getting back to the dance, on winning the Royal Rumble matchup, and headlining at WrestleMania. And by the sound of it, I don't think Phoenix, Arizona would have a problem with that. Rollins number 1. But who drew number 2 in the 30-man Royal Rumble match? Oh, this is going to be interesting. For the first time since losing his United States Championship back on Christmas night, Austin Theory returns to action. A little interpromotional battle to kick off the Rumble.
Introducing the individual who drew number 2 from Atlanta, Georgia, weighing in at 220 pounds, Austin Theory.
Well, Seth Rollins representing Monday Night Raw, Austin Theory representing Thursday Night SmackDown. And again, this is Theory's first matchup since losing the United States Championship last month, Christmas night, on the main event of SmackDown to the Mad Dragon, Ilya Dragunov. Austin Theory, a young man with all the potential, all the tools to be a main event player. Found a lot of success in his rookie year several years ago. Really went on a little bit of a pitfall, but in 2025 started to rise to the occasion again. A great United States Championship reign that took up the better half of half a year last year on SmackDown, but now Austin Theory with a chance to move up the ladder. If he can outlast the Royal Rumble matchup, go wire to wire in the same position that Ilya Dragunov did last year at entrance number 2. What a way to kick things off here at Phoenix. Who's going to WrestleMania? Seth Rollins from Raw, Austin Theory from SmackDown. The bell has sounded. The 2026 Men's Royal Rumble is underway. Well, Austin Theory certainly showing in his month off of action. He has not lost any bit of his cockiness, to say the least. I don't think you want to take your eye off Seth Rollins, especially in the Royal Rumble matchup where it can be a split second, and then all of a sudden you're set over the top rope. But there's Austin Theory now, trying to get Seth Rollins out of here early. How disappointing it would be for a former Undisputed champion, a former World Heavyweight champion in Seth Rollins, who was so vocal this past Monday Night on Raw on getting back to the main event of WrestleMania. Heated conversation between Rollins and CM Punk this past Monday night. CM Punk, one of the 28 men who are still to enter in this Royal Rumble matchup. Rollins taking the fight to Austin Theory in the early moments as the historic, dare I say legendary countdown is underway. Who is number 3? Oh, and a blockbuster by Rollins. And here comes SmackDown's young OG, Javon Evans. Javon entering his very first Royal Rumble matchup. Had a hell of a 2025, his debut year, part of the main roster. Former Cruiserweight Champion of the world, and Javon Evans is showing you why. That boy is bouncy. He's a hard one to catch inside of the ring, but Austin Theory could use his power and strength against the high flyer. Seth Rollins, I'm sure, takes a great admiration in Javon Evans. Probably sees a lot of himself in Evans, especially with the youth and the agility, the high-flying attributes of Javon, something we saw out of Rollins in his early years in the WWE. But Rollins doesn't give a damn who he steps into the ring with tonight. It's all about going wire to wire and being the last man standing in the Rumble match. Javon Evans now looking to get Seth Rollins up and over the top rope. Gotta imagine Rollins at the given moment is the biggest target inside of that ring. Who's joining the party here in Phoenix? Oh, well, it's gonna be the Cruiserweight Champion of the world, Dominic Mysterio, who, oh man, he had less than about 20 minutes to heal up after his battle with Dragon Lee on the Royal Rumble kickoff show. Dominic Mysterio nearly eliminating Javon Evans, and Evans gonna skin the cat. Well, Dominic Mysterio, moments ago here in Phoenix, on the kickoff show for No Nation Gaming channel members, retaining his Cruiserweight Championship against Dragon Lee in a hell of a battle. Certainly was a war of attrition between those two men, and like I said, about less than 20 minutes it seems almost for Dominic Mysterio to heal up after that, as now he's looking to eliminate Javon Evans. These two men no strangers to one another. Several battles in 25 as Dominic Mysterio looks to take out an old rival here. Austin Theory bringing the fight to Seth Rollins. Dominic entered number 1 last year, not much better of a position this year, as we await entrance number 5 in the Valley of the Sun. Who's joined the fray? Oh, well, speaking of the devil, or shall I say, speaking of the dragon, Dragon Lee. Well, Dragon Lee with an incredible performance moments ago here at the Royal Rumble against Dominic on the kickoff show. Nothing to be ashamed of in defeat. I'm sure he's itching to get his hands on Dirty Dom, but right now, a couple of other bodies in the way. Dragon Lee going after Javon Evans. Those two men teamed up 2 weeks ago on SmackDown, as a matter of fact. Right now, Dirty Dom's got his hands full with Seth Rollins. Pretty familiar with Rollins, going back to Rollins' rivalry with the Judgment Day in the late part of 2024, and early 25. 5 entrants thus far in the Royal Rumble. Matchup and a big cutter by Javon Evans on the Cruiserweight Champion. And a shooting star by Dragon Lee. A non-stop action that you can expect in the Rumble as Dragon comes off the top and Rollins delivers a pedigree to the number 2 entrant. Rollins all kind of fired up, and at number 6. Oh, it's 1/2 of the brand new number 1 contenders for the WWE Tag Team titles, Big Jim, Jimmy Uso. What was this past Thursday night on SmackDown? The Usos, in a war of attrition in their own right against the Motor City Machine Guns, outlasting Sabin and Shelley to become number 1 contenders, and oh, there goes Evans. Well, I think Jimmy and Dragon will get the reward, if you will, or the credit, we shall say, for that elimination. Dragon threw Evans over the top, and Jimmy finished the job. Austin Theory with a big blockbuster on Rollins out of the corner. Javon Evans in his first Royal Rumble matchup, unfortunately the first casualty as well. Rollins maybe joining him, just missed it. Oh, there goes Dragon. Jimmy Uso on a tear. We gotta imagine Jimmy, as well as his brother, Main Event Jay, who we await here in the Royal Rumble matchup, fired up after they were ambushed by McIntyre and Sheamus in the closing moments of SmackDown 3 nights ago. Entrance number 7 on their way. Uh-oh! First NXT entrant of the night. It's Oligo, Ethan Page. Well, you never know who's going to show up in the 30-man Royal Rumble matchup. Ethan Page, a former NXT champion, former North American champion at the Rumble, and he just got dropped by the Cruiserweight champion in Dirty Dom. Ethan Page familiar with Seth Rollins. Wait a minute here, Seth Rollins, oh! Well, you saw it with your eyes and you heard it by Mike Rome. Seth Rollins super kicks Austin Theory's WrestleMania aspirations away. That's a huge elimination this early on in the Rumble. Austin Theory making the walk back to the locker room, I'm sure a hell of a lot earlier than he so expected. Well, as we were mentioning, Ethan Page very familiar with Seth Rollins. Those two battled for No Nation Gaming channel member exclusive live event last summer. Entrance number 8 here. It's going to be the King of Strong Style, Shinsuke Nakamura. Nakamura, big victory over JD McDonough a couple of weeks ago on SmackDown. Nakamura looking to find his name in the hat at WrestleMania for the World Heavyweight Championship, I'm sure. And wait a minute here, Nakamura and Jimmy looking to get rid of Oligo Ethan Page. Page trying to hold on, trying to fight back as Rollins is working on Dirty Dom in the far corner. Late men have entered, only 5 still standing in the ring right now. Jimmy Uso, again, all kinds of fired up, a lot of pent-up aggression over the last 72 hours, I'm sure. At the same time, as fired up as Jimmy and Jay might be, gotta imagine neither of them are 100% after what was a near 20-minute battle with the Motor City Machine Guns this past Thursday night in Tempe, Arizona. Bodies are flying, fists are swinging. Who's joining the fight here in Phoenix? Oh, at number 9, it is gonna be Aleister Black from Thursday Night SmackDown. Meanwhile, Ethan Page trying to hold on. Nakamura trying to eliminate Oligo. Aleister Black, who made his presence felt after that United States Championship match this past Thursday. Oh, wait a minute, and Nakamura just eliminated Ethan huge elimination there. Rollins taking out Jimmy Uso as well. Do our best to keep up with the action here in Phoenix. As we were mentioning, Aleister Black arriving after Ilya Dragunov had defeated Chad Gable this past Thursday night. Black dropping the man Dragon dead center of the ring, setting his sights on the United States title, it seems, as Nakamura looks to take out the trash. Well, Nakamura with the victory over JD McDonough in Judgment Day a few weeks ago. Now with the elimination of Judgment Day's Dirty Dom, certainly will find himself an ally in that group anytime soon. Entrant number 10 on their way. Oh, and it looks like Big Jim's got some help. His tag team partner, his brother, main event, Jey Uso, is in Phoenix. The Usos currently the #1 contenders for Drew McIntyre and Sheamus WWE Tag Team titles, but the tag team titles, the secondary thought for both Jey and Jimmy tonight. It's all about being the last man standing and headlining WrestleMania. Jey Uso, who once challenged for the heavyweight title of the world last year, I'm sure would love to do so again. Shinsuke Nakamura, Aleister Black, Seth Rollins in the ring with the Usos. You know, the Usos could easily start teaming up on the fray here and throwing out some bodies, and that could be a great strategy if Jey and Jimmy were to run roughshod over the Rumble. It could come down to brother versus brother in the final two. They got super kicks for everybody inside of that ring. Meanwhile, Aleister Black dead set on taking care of Shinsuke Nakamura, it seems, as Jey Uso throws a kick at Aleister, but Aleister knows a thing or two about dealing some strikes. Oh, and speaking of the WWE Tag Team Champions, here comes the Celtic Warrior, Sheamus. The Usos got a bone to pick with this man. Oh, and Jey Uso not wasting any time. Well, again, it was Sheamus and McIntyre who jumped the Usos after their victory this past Thursday night on SmackDown, kicked him out of the ring. Kind of similar to how Rollins just kicked Nakamura out of the ring. Nakamura, your latest casualty in this year's Rumble. Seth Rollins, the #1 entrant, looking to go wire for wire. Not an impossible task. We saw Ilya Dragunov start this match at #2 last year and win the whole thing, lastly eliminating John Cena. Rollins, Jimmy, Jey, Aleister, and one half of the tag team champions of SmackDown and Sheamus. Oh, there goes Aleister Black. In a moment's notice, you can find your body being thrown over the top rope. Fatigue sets in a hell of a lot earlier in a non-stop battle like the Rumble. Jimmy on top, dangerous position. Seth Rollins here. Superplex. Down goes Jimmy as rolls Ludwig Kaiser enters the ring at #12. I'm telling you, it would be smart for the Usos to try to team up with the rest of the party, but not if they're outnumbered. Well, there goes that idea. Well, Seth Rollins, I think, saw the target that was painted on the back of everybody who was an Uso and took care of Big Jim. Seth Rollins held a performance thus far, eliminating Austin Theory, Nakamura, and now Jimmy Uso in the Royal Rumble matchup. Meanwhile, main event Jey, deadlocked on Sheamus in the corner and backs it up just like his daddy. Ludwig Kaiser is set for a massive tag team matchup this coming Monday on Raw. And there goes Sheamus. We've had 12 12 entrants thus far, and only 3 men left standing. Who's gonna join the Royal Rumble next? Oh my! Who said his name? It's Joe Hendry from NXT. The former TNA World Champion, recent WWE acquisition, is in the Rumble. Why is his music still playing? Joe Hendry has taken over the Royal Rumble matchup. Oh my! Seth Rollins, Jey Uso, Ludwig Kaiser, I don't think they're waving their hands from side to side. Kaiser's taking the fight to Hendry, but I don't think the production guy wants to shut off the music. He must believe in Joe Hendry. This is what the Rumble's all about, ladies and gentlemen. We are witnessing moments being made here in the Valley of the Sun. I don't think Kaiser believes. Well, nonetheless, ladies and gentlemen, number 14, old Trick Williams from Thursday Night SmackDown. Oh, we could have kept Joe Hendry's music playing. I mean, come on now. It's a great song, let's be honest here. Rollins taking care of Jay with a pedigree. Rollins could be on the verge of eliminating both Uso brothers. Joe Hendry, another NXT participant here in the Rumble. We're gonna take care of Trick Williams. Look at the power of the Scotsman. Joe Hendry going after main event Jay right now. Joe Hendry looking to make his presence felt and make sure everybody is believing. I'll tell you what, winning the Royal Rumble match and moving your way to the main roster is certainly a way to make the masses believe. As we were mentioning a few moments ago, Ludwig Kaiser set for a big tag team matchup on Raw Monday night. Oh, wait a minute. Trick Williams skinning the cat. And at number 15, the Intercontinental Champion, the ruler, Obafemi. And there goes Jey Uso. And there goes Trick Williams as well. Trick eliminates Jey. Obafemi immediately makes his presence felt and eliminates Trick. Obafemi, Ludwig Kaiser, rivals they are each and every Monday night. Kaiser and Gunther versus Femi and Orton, signed, sealed, and set to be delivered this Monday on Raw. Obafemi getting his hands on Kaiser prior to those events. And it's just an array of talent, to say the very least. Superstars from Raw and now NXT in the ring right now. Ludwig Kaiser trying to take out the man who took away his Intercontinental Championship back at Survivor Series. Joe Hendry hanging in there with some of Raw's top names and a future Hall of Famer like Seth Rollins as we await the entrant of number 16. Uh-oh! Entering his first Royal Rumble, the extraordinary luchador, it's Penta. Another Raw representative. Penta going right after Obafemi. There's some history between those two men. Obafemi, the only man to ever... Oh!
Has been eliminated.
Penta just tossed Obafemi in what may be the biggest shocker of the Rumble yet. And there goes Kaiser as well.
Has been eliminated.
Penta, as we were getting ready to mention. Oh, there goes Joe Hendry.
Has been eliminated.
Oh, all right, let's set the stage, ladies and gentlemen. Right now, after 16 entrants, only 2 stand tall. They're both from Raw. It's Penta and Seth Rollins. The number 1 entrant, the number 16 entrant, and there's a curb stomp by the Visionary. Penta has only been defeated, has only been pinned once since joining the WWE. It was by Obafemi back in November. Clearly, Penta has not forgotten as he eliminates the Intercontinental Champion and the biggest shocker of the Rumble yet. This has been off the charts as another Monday Night Raw superstar, the up-and-coming Carmelo Hayes, enters the fight. Yeah, this is what the Royal Rumble is all about, ladies and gentlemen. Moments, unpredictability. Obafemi, I think, was a favorite for a lot of people amongst the WWE Universe. Rollins looking to rule the ring. He's got Carmelo Hayes up. Going for a ride. Superplex. Down goes Mello. Monday Night Raw superstars taking center stage in Phoenix at the given moment as Penta. Oh! Carmelo Hayes just becoming public enemy number 1. The freshest superstar usually always does. Penta knocked off his feet by Seth Rollins. Penta's got to have his bell rung onto that curb stomp a couple of moments ago. Look at Mello taking the fight to Seth Rollins, who at this point in the matchup has got to be feeling tired, has got to be feeling the fatigue. And now we get some SmackDown blood. Number 18, the Hall of Famer, Rey Mysterio. Rey Mysterio, Penta, same ring, same time. That's historic. Well, the two luchadors may be setting their sights on one another. A little friendly battle between the two. Oh, there's Rey going after Mello as well. And look at all the talent. Extraordinary ones at that. In the ring right now. Superstars who any given week can be in the main event. Oh, look at Rey Mysterio sending Penta out of the ring, and it's an elimination. Well, Penta's first Royal Rumble not working out how he would have liked by being the last man standing, but again, you can't ignore Penta eliminating the Intercontinental Champion Obafemi. That is huge. Huge elimination by Rey Mysterio as well, as now he looks to get Carmelo Hayes out of the ring. Rollins and Rey, the two legends, going to team up on the upstart. Number 19 joining the fight. Oh, man. Business gonna pick up. Seth Rollins' old rival, the Bloodline, Samoan Werewolf, Jacob Fatu, and Rollins is bringing the fight to what may just be one of the biggest targets in the Royal Rumble match. Remember the words from the High Chief The Rock a couple of weeks ago saying he guarantees he looks forward to a member of the Royal Rumble, I should say a member of the Bloodline, winning the Royal Rumble and winning the championship at WrestleMania. That could very well be the Samoan Werewolf Jacob Fatu, who right now has become the top target for Seth Rollins. Carmelo Hayes taking out Rey with that first 48. Rollins has not taken his sights off of Jacob Fatu. So much history between those two men. Falcon Arrow by the Visionary. Where Seth Rollins last time competing inside of the ring before tonight was on the Raw after Survivor Series when he defeated Jacob Fatu inside of the steel cage. Oof. Oh, man. Speaking of business, pick it up, look no further. Number 20, the Ring General, Gunther. A lot of heavy hitters left to make their presence felt in the Royal Rumble. The ring's starting to fill up now as Jacob Fatu brings the fight to Rey Mysterio, Carmelo Hayes, Gunther, Seth Rollins battling it out. Gunther, who had an opportunity to become the WWE Champion over a month ago on Raw, one-on-one with John Cena. Of course, the return of Randy Orton made sure that wasn't to be. Orton promised that Gunther would never hold the WWE Championship again as long as Orton's got breath in his lungs. Meanwhile, Gunther's looking for an elimination as Rollins stomping Fatu's head in. A lot of bodies moving, a lot of action to keep up with here in Phoenix as Rey just took out both Mello and Gunther in the same shot. Number 21 on his way. Who's it gonna be? Uh-oh. Well, speaking of the devil, or shall I say, speaking of the Viper, Randy Orton is in the house. Oh, look at Randy Orton taking care of Rey Mysterio. And now turns his sights to the ring general Gunther. Orton believes that he will make sure that Gunther never holds a WWE title ever again. One way to do so is by throwing the ring general out of the Royal Rumble. A lot of bad blood between those two men that is far from settled. Their paths crossing yet again here in Phoenix. Mello's got Rollins, who somehow is still in this matchup all this time later after entering at number 1. Orton and Jacob Fatu, no strangers to each other. Some battles between those two men going back to last summer. And we said there was a lot of heavy hitters still to come. Fatu, Gunther, Orton, back to back to back. Who's joining the Royal Rumble next? Number 22 is on his way. And it is the prize fighter on Monday Night Raw, Kevin Owens. Well, Kevin Owens, who challenged Sami Zayn to a Survivor Series rematch, and he's going to get it 2 weeks. At this point, less than 2 weeks on Monday Night Raw, a week from Monday. Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn with unfinished business, but Owens would love to be the last man standing and headline WrestleMania. As a matter of fact, Seth Rollins talking about the last time he was WWE Champion. Oh, Carmelo Hayes nearly eliminated. Rollins said on Raw that it's been over 2 years since he held the WWE title. The last time he held that title was 2 years ago at WrestleMania, where he was defeated by one, Kevin Owens. Oh, and there goes Carmelo Hayes via the hands of the prize fighter. Great showing for Carmelo Hayes in the Rumble, the man who was told by John Cena this past Monday on the Raw that he believes a bright future is ahead for Melo. Look at Orton once again turning his sights on the ring general as another pair of legs are about to walk down the aisle, and it looks like Jacob Fatu's got some help. Solo Sikoa enters the Royal Rumble. Randy Orton, no stranger to Solo as well, defeated Solo last summer for the Intercontinental Championship. Could be looking to eliminate Solo earlier. Wait a minute, instead, far side of the ring, DDT! You know, we said about the Usos earlier on, well, coincidentally enough, their own flesh and blood, Fatu and Solo, they got a chance to team up with the rest of the party and run roughshod over the Rumble. And there goes Owens! Randy Orton's got no time and no business, no games with anybody in this matchup. Kevin Owens eliminated. Gunther may be next. The ring general being sent by Jacob Fatu.
Has been eliminated.
Rollins. Oh.
Has been eliminated.
Well, Rollins sent him over. Fatu took the final blow. And now it's Drew McIntyre entering the fight. Well, luckily for Rollins, I don't think McIntyre is necessarily coming to his aid, but it will certainly take some of the attention off of being double-teamed by two old rivals in Fatu and Solo. My goodness, look at the names who are just eliminated. Kevin Owens, Gunther, and Randy Orton. I mean, you gotta believe those are three former World Heavyweight Champions, three men who could have easily been the winner of tonight's Royal Rumble. Kevin Owens won this event 2 years ago. Well, after 24 entrants, only 4 men are still standing in the ring. Rollins, Fatu, Solo, and McIntyre. And Solo just got dropped with a pedigree. It is truly anybody's game here in Phoenix tonight. One half of the tag team champions, McIntyre nearly eliminating Solo, and Rollins probably would have let him if he realized that Solo was about to be sent. Number 25 on his way. And it's going to be Sami Zayn. Well, I'm sure Zayn wishes Kevin Owens was still in this matchup so he can get his hands on Owens after all their recent history. But nevertheless, maybe Owens being out of the ring will allow Zayn to focus on the task at hand. Unfortunately for him, the task at hand is eaten a boot by Drew McIntyre. McIntyre pummeling Sami Zayn as Jacob Fatu takes the fight to obviously the weakest man in the ring, and that's the man who started this thing. It's Seth Rollins. There goes Solo.
Has been eliminated.
Oh, Fatu's gonna follow.
Fatu has been eliminated.
Oh man, well I don't think the High Chief, The Rock, is gonna be too happy about his 2 soldiers that he positioned in the Royal Rumble matchup being eliminated. Well, anything can happen in the chaos that is the Royal Rumble. It looks like a Bloodline member will not be headlining WrestleMania. McIntyre, Rollins, Zayn, and now last year's winner, the United States champion Ilya Dragunov, who's got a hell of a lot of history with Drew McIntyre. The man who went wire to wire and won this matchup last year, who defeated Drew McIntyre to win the World Heavyweight Championship at WrestleMania. Oh, McIntyre realizing who's in the ring, and he is going right after a man who was a thorn in his side for damn near a year on SmackDown. 4 heavy hitters, 4 men who could easily be the last man standing in this matchup. Sami Zayn getting sent down by one half of the WWE Tag Team Champions. I'm sure McIntyre is thankful that the Usos are not in the matchup at the given moment. Saw what happened to Sheamus earlier on. He entered the ring, became the Usos' top enemy, and Sheamus was eliminated by Jay. Rollins and McIntyre on one side, Dragunov and Sami on the other. Only a couple more entrants to come. It's number 27. And it's the best in the world, CM Punk. Punk and Rollins had a war of words this past Monday night on Raw, and A Punk, look at this, immediately upon entry, GTS to Ilya Dragunov. Rollins going right after CM Punk. They've been tag team partners against common enemies in recent years. But CM Punk and Seth Rollins telling each other Monday night they got no problem going through one another if it means winning the Rumble. CM Punk entering at number 27, a position where 5 superstars have won in Royal Rumble history. Most recently going back to 2023 when this event was won by Matt Riddle. Punk, McIntyre, Rollins, Dragunov, Sami Zayn. Just a couple more entrants to come. Remains to be seen who will be headlining WrestleMania, the grandest stage of them all, in Las Vegas, Nevada in March. Sami Zayn's teetering. And Sami Zayn's gone! As number 28, Braun Breaker is here! Braun Breaker has been pissed off, he has been vocal, he has been hell-bent on getting back into the ring with the undisputed WWE champion, whoever that may be. Well, Breaker can finally get exactly what he's been bitching about for months on Raw if he can finally win the Rumble and get his shot at the title. Braun Breaker, who held the WWE Championship for the better part of last year. As a matter of fact, main evented WrestleMania with the man across the ring from him right now with CM Punk. Oh! Torpedo Moscow by Ilya Dragunov to Seth Rollins. Rollins never saw it coming over the top rope, and he's gone, courtesy of the United States Champion. A huge elimination. Well, a disappointing elimination for Seth Rollins, who started off this matchup. CM Punk may be joining him, so is Braun, not just yet. Number 29, Big Bronson Reed. Well, Seth Rollins, who started off this matchup at number 1, unfortunately will not make it to the final bell. Eliminated by last year's winner, Ilya Dragunov. 5 superstars in the ring, still 1 to go. Big Bronson Reed, a heavy hitter, maybe the odds-on favorite when you survey the scene. An all-star list inside of that ring right now. McIntyre, one of the very few men who's going to be manhandling Braun Breaker like that. Ilya Dragunov, no stranger to McIntyre and no stranger to Bronson Reed either. Looks like Reed is hell-bent on CM Punk at the given moment. Now Braun Breaker going to turn his attention to an old rival as well. 5 superstars in the ring. 1 man left to enter. It will be number 30, the last entrant. There are no more. Who is taking the final spot? Who will join the 30-man Royal Rumble? It is the megastar, L.A. Knight. L.A. Knight, who has been on the shelf the last number of weeks after a series of tsunamis and being put through the table by Bronson Reed. L.A. Knight with a bone to pick with the Auszilla. A lot of bad blood between those 2 men, but there's a lot of other moving parts in the ring that either man has got to be focused on. What is one of these 6 superstars, ladies and gentlemen? Whether it be Knight, whether it be Dragunov. We're going out on the far side of the ring. Wait a minute. There goes last year's winner. L.A. Knight with a huge elimination, eliminating last year's Royal Rumble match winner, the United States Champion Ilya Dragunov. Will now be one of these 5 superstars. Knight, Breaker, McIntyre, Punk, Reed. One of these men are going to WrestleMania. Oh, and McIntyre. I don't think got all that Claymore kick, but he just got enough. And there goes L.A. Knight. Oh, well, not a long appearance for L.A. Knight. An effectful one at that. Unfortunately, won't be main eventing WrestleMania by winning the Royal Rumble match. Well, L.A. Knight, I'm sure, would have loved to get his hands on Bronson Reed a little bit more, but that is the danger, that is the nature of the Rumble. We are down to 4 superstars. 2 from SmackDown, 2 from Raw. Those 2 superstars from Raw were last year's WrestleMania main event. Braun Breaker on the shoulders of McIntyre, an avalanche air raid crash. And a tsunami by Reed to Punk. McIntyre. Uh-oh. Has eliminated Braun Breaker. Well, we said a moment ago, as McIntyre may be on the verge of elimination here. Well, we said a moment ago that there is very few men who can manhandle Braun Breaker, but McIntyre clearly one of them. And unfortunately for all of us, it sounds like Braun Breaker's tyrant on Monday Night Raw, trying to get an opportunity at the WWE title, is going to have to continue. We are down to 3, ladies and gentlemen. It is anybody's ball game. McIntyre, a former world champion. The Auszilla, Bronson Reed, who ran roughshod on SmackDown last year. And of course, CM Punk. Oh my goodness, look at this. A world's strongest slam by Reed off the middle, taking out McIntyre. Punk now gonna pick the bones. McIntyre may be left for dead and may be on the verge of being the next casualty.
Drew McIntyre has been eliminated.
We are down to 2. Bronson Reed from SmackDown, CM Punk from Raw. One of these men are going to WrestleMania. CM Punk has been a man on a mission for over a year to try to get back the WWE Championship. Punk extremely vocal on Raw in recent weeks that he doesn't just want, he needs the main event WrestleMania. But Bronson Reed may not give him a choice. Reed has been focused on trying to become the heavyweight champion of the world since last summer on SmackDown. Has had a couple of opportunities go by the wayside. Maybe a third time could be the charm if he can headline WrestleMania in Las Vegas. CM Punk looking to take out the Auszilla. Oh, wait a minute here. A little bit of a unique strategy. Punk going for the Anaconda Vice. Well, Bronson Reed could tap out if he so pleases, but that's not going to get his heavyweight self over the top rope, to say the least. Bronson Reed using those tree trunk sized legs to create some separation as CM Punk whipped off, and a massive shoulder block takes the man in the pink off his feet. Punk number 27, Reed number 29. One of these men will be number 1, the only one going to WrestleMania. Reed set off once more. CM Punk unable to outrun Reed, and Reed just making CM Punk fold after running into a brick wall. It may be Reed's coming out party once and for all. Tonight may be the night that nobody forgets the name of the Auszilla. CM Punk, dazed, confused, battered, and bruised in the far corner. And now look at Bronson Reed, a little Oklahoma stampede from the corner to the middle. And if you survey the scene, if you look at the picture on your screen, it looks as if Bronson Reed may be nearing his Royal Rumble victory. Former Intercontinental Champion, former NXT North American Champion, but CM Punk's not done fighting just yet. Holy hell! The biggest GTS I've ever seen! Punk digging down deep, hoisting Reed in the air. Reed back on his feet, over the top rope, and he's out of here! CM Punk is going to WrestleMania!
Here is your winner,
Holy hell, what a match! It looked as if Bronson Reed was about to punch his golden ticket to the showcase of the Immortals. But a slight hesitation, monumental strength, a go-to-sleep heard around the world. And in a moment's notice, the Second City Saint is heading back to the dance. The man who headlined WrestleMania as the challenger for the Undisputed title last year gets a chance to do it again. CM Punk, the last man standing. He has been hell-bent on trying to get back the Undisputed WWE Championship, and now he gets that chance come Las Vegas, Nevada.
In case you've been living under a rock,
WWE is on fire right now.
Professional wrestling is electrifying once again.
And next year, we're bringing the show of shows to Las Vegas. WrestleMania in the entertainment capital of the world. Only question is, are you ready?
Well, a raucous start here in Phoenix moments ago. The best in the world, CM Punk, the last man standing in the 30-man Royal Rumble matchup, and has punched his ticket to the main event of WrestleMania in Las Vegas. But there is a hell of a lot more action to come right here tonight in the Mortgage Matchup Center in Phoenix, including a tables matchup for the tag team titles. It was back on the Survivor Series kickoff show that Tonga and Tonga Loa of the Bloodline defeated Joe Gacy and Dexter Lumis of the Wyatt Six to capture the World Tag Team titles. The Bloodline have been a thorn in the side of the Wyatt Six. They have bested the family time and time again. But tonight, Dexter and Gacy look to do one good by their family and win back the Tag Team Championship. The predicament tonight is that there is no pinfalls or submissions, no countouts or disqualifications. The upcoming matchup only ends when both members of a team have been put through a table. The entirety of the Wyatt Six making their presence felt here in the Mortgage Matchup Center. And certainly an intimidating family at that. Accompanied by Nikki Cross, Eric Rowan, and of course the head honcho, Uncle Howdy, who dropped Solo Sikoa with his sister Abigail this past Monday night on Raw. But tonight, the eyes of the world are on Gacy and Lumis, the former World Tag Team Champions, who look to get the gold back from the two men who took them away back at Survivor Series. There is bad blood between these two teams, and tonight we hope to settle it in the tables matchup here at the Royal Rumble. An ominous presence has come over Phoenix, Arizona, as the Wyatt Six have arrived on the road to WrestleMania. Well, unfortunately for the High Chief, The Rock, he promised either Solo Sikoa or Jacob Fatu would be winning the Royal Rumble matchup. That was not to be. Luckily for the Bloodline, they have a chance to at least have some positivity coming out of Phoenix if the Bloodline and Tonga and Tonga Loa can retain the tag team titles.
And a combined weight of 439 pounds, the World Tag Team Champions, Tama and Tonga Loa, the Bloodline.
Well, Tonga and Tonga Loa wearing the war paint. They are certainly ready for battle tonight at the Royal Rumble. Certainly going to be a bad vibe around the Bloodline locker room after Fatu and Solo failing to win the 30-man Royal Rumble matchup. But two of the men who we found out in recent weeks were nothing more than soldiers to the High Chief The Rock's greater plan. Tonga and Tonga Loa have at least found success in recent memory. They have put Gacy and Lumis through tables in the backstage area on more than one occasion. The Bloodline have laid waste to the Wyatts 6 time and time again. Will the Wyatts finally get one up over these two men once and for all here tonight? Well, of course, the Cruiserweight Championship of the World defended on the Royal Rumble kickoff show. Dirty Dominic Mysterio retaining his gold over Dragon Lee. Our next championship battle, live and now, here on the Royal Rumble main show. Gotta wonder if Tonga and Tonga Loa are gonna suffer the same fate as Fatu and Solo did moments ago, or will they bring back the Tag Team Championships once more to the Bloodline locker room? Again, no pinfalls, no countouts, no disqualifications, no submissions here. The bell has sounded. This matchup ends when two men of an opposing team go through a table with offensive force. There's Loa and Tama, who took away the tag team titles from Gacy and Lumis in a traditional tag team matchup back at the Survivor Series kickoff show. Whole different battlefield, if you will, this time around. Tornado-style rules, no tags to be made. Just like the Royal Rumble matchup moments ago, there's going to be a hell of a lot of action to keep up with, and we will do our best as the tag team titles of Monday nights are on the line. Uncle Howdy with a big singles victory over Tama Tonga 2 weeks ago on Monday Night Raw, and then again, as Solo Sikoa was singing the battle cry, if you will, the Bloodline headed into the Royal Rumble this past Monday. Uncle Howdy arriving on the scene and dropping Solo with his sister Abigail dead center of the ring. This matchup right now, all focused on Gacy, Lumis, Tama, and Loa. And the events leading up to tonight could all be worth it if the Wyatts 6 can win back the tag team titles, becoming two-time tag team champions. See Joe Gacy being the first to set up the wood here inside of the ring. This matchup free to go anywhere as long as we see. Oh, well, Joe Gacy, unfortunately, having some bad luck here, nearly putting Tonga Loa through the table. That wouldn't have been an elimination, folks. This would have been a handicap matchup all of a sudden, but guess we got a reinforced table in there, and Tonga Loa not breaking through it. Bloodline better be thanking their lucky stars after that. This would have effectively been a handicap matchup, both Gacy and Lumis versus Tama Tonga, but luckily for the defending champions, Loa's still alive. Tables matchup here at the Royal Rumble 26 years ago between the Dudley Boys and the Hardy Boys. Now all these years later, yet another tables matchup right here and now on the kickoff to the road to WrestleMania. A table reestablished inside of the ring. Tonga Loa missing wildly there. Gacy was a little out of position and it may come back to haunt Tonga Loa as Joe Gacy's eyes are on the table. Uh-oh. I'm not sure luck is going to be on Loa's side this time. Tonga Loa eliminated from this tables matchup and has effectively become a handicap matchup all of a sudden. Oh, hold on, not for long. Joe Gacy, a little out of position, and Dexter Lumis just got set.
Lumis has been eliminated.
My, oh my, how the tables can turn, all pun intended, in a matter of moments. Gacy eliminates Loa inside of the ring. Tonga Loa, or I should say Tama Tonga, sending Dexter Lumis over the top rope and through a table at ringside, effectively eliminating Lumis. Well, no rest for the weary here. Gacy and Tama battling it out. Next casualty will decide the World Tag Team titles. And there's only one way to do it. Another table introduced. You hear the crowd in Phoenix. We want tables, and they are getting them tonight in the Mortgage Matchup Center. Bad blood between these two families. Only one can leave the World Tag Team Champions. Joe Gacy being teed off on by Tama here, who goes for the head scissors takedown. Might have got caught. Incredible wherewithal by Gacy to put the brakes on. And an effective powerbomb gonna level one half of the champions. Gacy, who introduced that table moments ago and eliminated Tonga Loa from this matchup, now looking to use that table not only as a weapon, but hopefully put Tama Tonga through it for the Wyatt's sake. Gacy and Lumis, as we mentioned, put through tables in the backstage area before by the Bloodline. Now in front of the world, looking to do it to the Defending champions in the rings of Saturn, locked in by Gacy, but a tap out's not going to get him anywhere. Well, it will damage Tama Tonga, but ultimately Gacy's got to put Tama through that table that he set up in the ring. Well, maybe on the verge of doing so, but an elbow, and there's a spike DDT by Tama. Gacy and his momentum halted at the given moment by Tama Tonga's. Disaster was nearly afoot. Bloodline here, looking to get some kind of positivity back in their locker room after Fatu and Solo lost the Royal Rumble matchup moments ago. But Joe Gacy, however, may be knocked out cold. First the DDT, and now the flapjack through the table, and this one's over. Well, Gacy and Lumis came in fighting an emotional battle, no doubt about it. They have been picked apart by the Bloodline, as well as the rest, we should say, of the Wyatt Six in recent weeks. But unfortunately for Gacy and Lumis, not enough to take the tag team titles away from the men that opposed them back at Survivor Series and once more here tonight at the Rumble. Tama Tonga, Tonga Loa continue to be some shining stars for the Bloodline as they get the job done once more and retain the Tag Team Championship gold.
Here are your winners, and still the World Tag Team Champions, Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa, the Bloodline.
Well, it wasn't a long fight, but it was certainly a physical one as the World Tag Team Championship remains with Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa. Well, ladies and gentlemen, of course, tonight begins the road to WrestleMania, and a pit stop is going to be made Sunday night, February the 15th, as we head to Opus Stadium in Perth, Australia, for the Elimination Chamber, one of the most dangerous events on the WWE calendar. A last chance to punch your ticket to WrestleMania. Elimination Chamber coming up on the 15th of February in Perth. Well, that is then, this is now. We are live from the Capacity Mortgage Matchup Center in Phoenix, Arizona for the Royal Rumble. And coming up next, here in the Valley of the Sun, the WWE Women's Championship for Monday Night Raw is set to be defended. Lyra Valkyria looking to get back the championship she once held as she opposes the prodigy, Roxanne Perez. Roxanne Perez has held the title since Bad Blood, the same night where Lyra lost the title. But there is an X factor in this equation. We take you back to Miami, Florida a couple of months ago. Rhea Ripley defeating Lyra Valkyria in that SummerSlam rematch to capture the Women's Championship. Rhea Ripley beaten, battered, and bruised, and of course was the casualty of what was to happen moments later. The Money in the Bank briefcase cashed in by the prodigy Roxanne Perez. Making the most of the situation, seeing a wounded champion, and Perez did not disappoint, winning the Women's Championship. It was over a month later that Lyra Valkyria would return for the first time since Bad Blood after nursing some nagging injuries, and Perez knew exactly what Lyra was going to want, an opportunity to get back her championship. And ever since then, Lyra has been public enemy number one, a target on the back of Roxanne Perez. These two women finally clash for the Women's Championship.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall and is for the WWE Women's Championship.
The challenger tonight, the inaugural Women's Intercontinental Champion, last year's Queen of the Ring winner, and of course a former WWE Women's Champion, Lyra Valkyria arrives in Phoenix. Lyra Valkyria, after Bad Blood, took about a month away to nurse some nagging injuries that had started to stack up throughout 2025. She returned to Monday Night Raw 2 weeks after Survivor Series, same event where Roxanne Perez had defeated Rhea Ripley once again, albeit a weakened Rhea Ripley to retain her championship. but it was very clear that Lyra was going to be gunning for the title, no matter who was holding the championship gold. It just so happens to be Perez, and per usual, on character, the Prodigy has done exactly what you'd expect her to do, try to attack Lyra Valkyria and try to get the edge over the challenger in anticipation to tonight for the Royal Rumble. Dare I say, I don't think Perez has had the same luck as she did with Lyra as she did with Rhea Ripley. Nevertheless, an edge over her opponent or not, we can't take anything away from a former Women's World Champion, a former Women's Tag Team Champion, Money in the Bank holder, and of course now, your reigning, defending WWE Women's Champion. Roxanne Perez, leading up to Survivor Series, had attacked Rhea Ripley left and right. Rhea went into that matchup with a fractured nose. Rhea fought at way less than 100%. I don't think the same can be said about Lyra Valkyria here tonight. Rhea has aided Lyra, having her back in the lead up to the Royal Rumble. This past Monday Night on Raw, huge tag team victory as Valkyria and Rhea defeated Roxanne and a returning Tiffany Stratton. Roxanne Perez not having the advantage that she sure would have liked. Tonight she goes mano a mano, each at 100%, or at least as close as you can get to it in this industry. Her championship is on the line on what you gotta believe is gonna be a game, Lyra Valkyria. Lyra wants back the championship she once held. Roxanne Perez wants to hold on to it and kick down the door on the road to WrestleMania as champion. Who's gonna get their wish?
Introducing the challenger from Dublin, Ireland, Lyra Valkyria. And her opponent from Laredo, Texas, the WWE Women's Champion, Roxanne Perez.
Well, of course, still to come tonight, the 30-woman Royal Rumble matchup, something that I'm sure Rhea Ripley is hell-bent on winning and getting back into the ring with one of these two women who she has a hell of a lot of history with. But we cannot look towards the future just yet. The eyes of the world are right here and right now as Lyra Valkyria challenges Roxanne Perez for the WWE Women's Championship, and we are underway. Roxanne Perez going for the knee early and now trying to snag away the victory from Lyra in a matter of moments here. Man, talk about stealing the win if that would have worked out for her. Roxanne Perez was seemingly always one step ahead of her opponents. But for the first time in a long time, I'm not sure the same can be said about Lyra Valkyria, who was looking to match Roxanne's energy in the early moments and come out the champion with a hell of a lot of fire in her fist. Whipping Roxanne off to the far side, into the hip toss, and Lyra Valkyria telling Roxanne Perez that you ain't gonna walk all over me tonight. Roxanne Perez got the rest of the kind of matchup she so desired back at Survivor Series against a wounded Rhea Ripley, that fractured nose, that injured shoulder. Lyra Valkyria at the best of her abilities tonight, and Perez better have an A plan, a B plan, a C plan, all the way to Z, if she's gonna keep down one of 2025's best competitors in all the WWE. Lyra Valkyria accomplishing a hell of a lot of history last year. Same can be said about Roxanne Perez, however, so it was really only inevitable that their paths crossed. And on a night like tonight, one of the most important nights of the WWE calendar, the Royal Rumble, the kickoff to the road to WrestleMania. Who's going to start down said road as the champion? My goodness, what a kick by the Prodigy. Both these women who were a part of the Royal Rumble matchup last year at this very event certainly have made, as we mentioned, a hell of a lot of history the last 12 months, and now they find themselves competing for the very prize that they so desire, and that's the Women's Championship. There, knees out of the corner by Roxanne, now another early cover on Lyra Valkyria here, and gets the 2 count. I believe it's going to take a hell of a lot more to keep down Lyra, and I think Roxanne Perez knows that, but just trying to get into the psyche of Lyra and force her to extend a little bit of energy there off that cover. Seen Lyra Valkyria go the distance Last year at WrestleMania against Liv Morgan to win the inaugural Intercontinental Championship, defeated SmackDown's Julia to win the Queen of the Ring tournament last year, and of course defeating Rhea Ripley back at SummerSlam to win her first women's title. And Lyra Valkyria looking to get through Roxanne Perez tonight. And what you gotta believe will be a war of attrition for the women's title. The knee on the apron taking down Roxanne Perez. Now Lyra scaling the ropes here. Massive clothesline off the top to take down the champion. And off the second attempt, hits that standing moonsault. Didn't work out earlier, works out now. Into the cover, gets the two. Not enough to keep down Perez. And we knew we were going to be in for a good one between champion and challenger, two on Monday Night Raw's best. It's Roxanne Perez, the champion now. Getting sent to the outside. Dare I say the drop zone. Here comes Lyra. Oh, no! Looking for that patented drop kick through the ropes into the outside, but nobody home. Crash and burn for the challenger, and now a meteor off the barricade by Perez. A harsh landing for Lyra. Roxanne Perez clearly did her homework and had Lyra Valkyria scouted. Well, that is not good. That may change the tides of this matchup for good. Lyra now sent back inside of the ring, off the crash and burn, off the Meteora, and off being sent into the barrier, and Perez like a shark that smells blood in the water. Looking to retain the championship against what is starting to become a wounded challenger, but it's not enough just yet. Very well could be one of these two women headlining WrestleMania as the women's champion. Remains to be seen who will be the last woman standing in the 30-woman Royal Rumble matchup later this evening here in Phoenix, Arizona. Road to WrestleMania begins right here tonight, and both of these women are looking to start down that road as champion. As Lyra just collapsed off the collision with the buckles, you gotta believe Perez has become the favorite in the midst of this contest. Roxanne Perez wrestling like a true champion right now. Wise beyond her years is the champion. Not rushing in. She's picking her spot. She realizes off the crash and burn on the outside, Lyra may be hurt. Oh, wait a minute here. Lyra with the counter, trying to go for the overhand strike. Roxanne Perez, however, not allowing a rally. Well, we can never discount Lyra Valkyria. 2025 certainly taught us that. But that doesn't mean she is in a position right now to come back against what is a game champion. Middle rope is Perez, and now a meteor in the ring. And that may be it. That could be the knockout blow. Kick out by Valkyria. Championship match gonna progress here at the Rumble. Dare I say, a little bit of frustration being shown out of Perez, where no 3 count was to be had. Oh, there's the arm drag. But Perez can't allow herself to become frustrated just because she didn't get the photo finish that she so desired. Lyra's clearly hurt, and Perez trying to capitalize. Oh, there's Lyra Valkyria trying to fight back. Discus leg lariat. She might have caught her. Out of nowhere, Lyra strikes. Oh, not just yet. Perez still in this matchup, but what an incredibly well-timed counter by Lyra, and struck while the iron was hot. Oh, but Perez fighting back. And now it's an impaler DDT by the champion. So much for Lyra's rally. This one's over. Oh, or maybe not. Valkyria's still into it. Oh, man, great reversal by Lyra into the discus leg lariat. Thought she had the matchup back into the driver's seat, but Perez writing a different story. Impaler DDT. Had to take a lot out of Lyra, but not enough for the 3 count. These two women just squaring off right now. Lyra's backed into the corner. Literally here is Roxanne Perez now. We're going to find what it takes to keep down Lyra. Now it's Perez backed into a corner. Lyra Valkyria just trying to unload, trying to let loose with anything she's got left in the tank. She's taken a lot of damage throughout this matchup ever since that crash and burn on the outside. Perez now hoisted on top. Oh, I don't like this for the champion. Exploder suplex. My goodness. Oh, and it's about as close as you can get from winning the championship. Dead center of the ring, nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. Clean cover by Lyra. Unfortunately, Roxanne just has a little bit left in the tank. Just as we were saying about Valkyria, you gotta believe that exploder just took a hell of a lot of Perez. Lyra now going back to the well. I don't know if this is wise, but it works out for her. The running head start, the drop kick through the ropes, and to the outside of the ring. And all of a sudden, it's Lyra's game to lose. Lyra Valkyria's got to take advantage. It's the rematch that she was owed after losing the title to Rhea Ripley at Bad Blood, only for Roxanne to cash in on Rhea moments later. Roxanne not going to allow, Lyra Valkyria to get what she wants, to win the title back. And just as we said, it's Lyra's opportunity to lose, it's Roxanne who's got everything to lose here at the Rumble. Roxanne could be looking for a count-out victory after Lyra met the steel post. Oh, there's Roxanne Perez lying in wait. Lyra Valkyria with a leg drop over the ropes and is just going to make the count at the count of 9. Lyra Valkyria not going to stop swinging until she hears a bell. Cartwheel, drop kick, beautifully executed. What a contest here for the Women's Championship. Oh, counter by Perez. Oh, wait a minute, kick to the gut. Pop rocks by Roxanne. And nearly putting this matchup away. But Roxanne finding out. Phoenix coming unglued. Roxanne finding out what many women found out in 2025, that Lyra Valkyria has come into her own. She's better than ever, and she's only getting better. Lyra wants this title just as much as she wants breath in her lungs. The pop rocks not putting Valkyria away. Lyra now starting to fight back. Hold on here, on the shoulders at a moment's notice. Nightwing! She's got her! No, and Roxanne kicks out at 2.9. Oh, man. What a matchup here. Not just from two of Monday Night Raw's best, but from two of this industry's best. Lyra, Roxanne, who's going to kickstart their road to WrestleMania as the WWE Women's Champion. Lyra with Roxanne backed up into the corner. Roxanne trying to fight back, realizing that she is just as hurt as her challenger is. Oh, look at this. Roxanne using the ropes in a beautifully timed arm drag, taking Lyra off her feet. Oh, hold on here. Oh, hold on. Roxanne Perez just exposed the steel underneath that turnbuckle to the left of your screens, ladies and gentlemen. Well, I think referee Daphne LaShawn realizes it, and she's going to fix it up before it becomes a problem. And oh, well, hold on. Well, hold on. That might have been a part of the game plan of Perez. Referee Daphne LaShawn's back is turned. She just exposed more steel and just sent Lyra Valkyria into the exposed steel. You got to be kidding me. Referee Daphne LaShawn never saw it. Perez on the middle rope. Pop rocks. Oh, come on now. Roxanne just screwed Lyra Valkyria. Oh, well, we talked about coming into this matchup, how Perez always tries to have an edge. But for the first time, it felt like she didn't have the edge over Lyra, as if we were at an even playing field. But when all the normal tricks did not put Lyra away, Roxanne Perez got her hands dirty. Exposed one turnbuckle, allowed that to distract referee Daphne LaShawn, then went to the opposite side of the ring, exposed more steel, sent Lyra's own flesh and bones right into it. Followed it up moments later with an elevated pop rocks off the middle rope. Referee Daphne LaShawn never saw the underhanded tactic, and Roxanne has stolen away the championship.
Here is your winner, and still the WWE Women's Champion, Roxanne Perez.
Well, you know what? Just like she did at Survivor Series to ensure that she would get the victory over Rhea Ripley, Roxanne Perez thought ahead. She found herself some insurance. And tonight the insurance was the exposed steel that met Lyra Valkyria head on. One way or another, Perez has defeated Valkyria here tonight at the Rumble and is still your WWE Women's Champion. Can't get enough universe mode? PLE kickoff shows, live events, all exclusive to No Nation Gaming channel members. Hit the join button down below and gain access to more universe than ever before. We want to take you back to earlier tonight on the Royal Rumble kickoff show, available for No Nation Gaming channel members. Dirty Dominic Mysterio defending the Cruiserweight Championship of the World against Dragon Lee. Of course, we saw both of these men in the Royal Rumble matchup earlier tonight. There's a reason they went into that battle so exhausted, and that's because of this war of attrition over the Cruiserweight title. Dragon Lee pushing the Judgment Day representative to his limit. But once again, we find ourselves giving the devil his due as Dominic Mysterio surviving the offense of Dragon Lee and once again holding on to the Cruiserweight title. Some incredible action thus far tonight in a Capacity Mortgage matchup center in the Valley of the Sun, Phoenix, Arizona. This is the Royal Rumble, and we're on the road to WrestleMania. Well, from one championship of Thursday night SmackDown to another. Coming up next here at the Royal Rumble, the Heavyweight Championship of the World is on the line as the champion, the Punishment, Damian Priest, defends the title against the phenomenal AJ Styles. For AJ Styles, this is a road back to the championship that started in August at SummerSlam when the King of the Ring himself dethroned the Mad Dragon, Ilya Dragunov, at the biggest party of the summer to become the World Heavyweight Champion. A great moment for AJ all those months ago, but one that was short-lived. AJ Styles surviving a battle and hoisting the championship high in the sky only for mere moments. Mr. Money in the Bank, the Judgment Day's Finn Balor, would arrive on the scene and cash in on a weakened AJ Styles to become the World Heavyweight Champion on that night. Of course, Finn Balor was engulfed in a war at the time with one Punishment, Damian Priest, who had defeated Finn Balor earlier that night at SummerSlam. A couple of months later at Bad Blood, their paths crossed again inside the Devil's Playground, known as Hell in a Cell, where Damian Priest would put down the demon, Finn Balor, and become the new World Heavyweight Champion. Finn Balor's been on the shelf ever since. All the while, Damian Priest has been the kingpin on Thursday nights. And it was back on Christmas night on SmackDown that Damian Priest gifted AJ Styles the gift of all gifts, and that's an opportunity to once again become the heavyweight champion. But has Priest backed himself into a corner? The last time these two men went one-on-one in the King of the Ring finals last summer, it was AJ Styles who got the victory over Damian Priest. Will history repeat itself tonight? Will Styles become the champion this time around? Or will the championship remain with the Archer of Infamy?
The following is scheduled for one fall and is for the World Heavyweight Championship.
You don't want none.
It is SmackDown's respective main event here at the Royal Rumble. The big gold belt is on the line. The phenomenal AJ Styles, your challenger this evening. A man who in 2025 scored two of the biggest wins of that year, held two of the biggest wins of his respective career. Of course, we saw in the highlight package moments ago, defeating Damian Priest, his opponent tonight, just about 6 months back in the King of the Ring finals. AJ Styles, with that victory, would be propelled on to SummerSlam, where you saw he defeated Ilya Dragunov to become the heavyweight champion. Upon being cashed in on by Finn Balor, Styles has found himself back on the chase ever since. Dare I say, becoming desperate to do anything he's got to do to become the #1 contender and challenge for the gold again. Victory starting to stack up on SmackDown for Styles. Damian Priest would not deny Styles his championship opportunity any longer. And you gotta tip your hat to the defending champion tonight, the Punishment, Damian Priest. He's got everything to lose, but dare I say also has everything to prove against this old foe. You know, it was last year at the Royal Rumble where for a quick moment in time, Damian Priest and AJ Styles were briefly signed on to meet in the Monday Night Raw main event for the Undisputed WWE Championship. A series of events, of course, changed that, but look at the next 12 months where Damian Priest would move to SmackDown, be exiled for the Judgment Day, come out on his own, and of course left 2025 as the top man on Thursday nights holding the World Heavyweight title. Well, 12 months after when they were originally supposed to meet here at the Royal Rumble, destiny arrives all the same. Priest and Styles paths cross yet again, now a part of SmackDown, and now for the gold that Priest hoisted his hands. Damian Priest was the one who gifted, dare I say, AJ Styles this championship opportunity. But in recent weeks on SmackDown, and even back at New Year's Evil, Damian Priest and AJ Styles have been partners. They've fallen short. First to Cody Rhodes and John Cena, then to the WWE Tag Team Champions Drew McIntyre and Sheamus. Priest and Styles a hell of a lot of respect, but not so great at being partners, to say the least. Well, all that is in the rear view mirror. This is a what have you done for me lately business. And both Priest and Styles' focus are on the here and on the now. And you want to ask what these two men have done lately, they could possibly answer leaving here as World Heavyweight Champion. SmackDown main event as we send things up to Mike Rome for your official match introductions.
Introducing the challenger from Gainesville, Georgia, weighing in at 218 pounds, the phenomenal AJ Styles. And his opponent from New York City, weighing in at 249 pounds, the World Heavyweight Champion, Damian Priest.
Well, two men who saw the highest of highs and the lowest of lows in the last calendar year now meet mano a mano, one-on-one, on the first live premiere event of 2026. AJ Styles pacing back and forth as his name was sounded by Mike Rome here in the Mortgage Matchup Center. Taking a glance at what could be his prize on the other side of the second bell. It's Styles, it's Priest, who's kickstarting their road to WrestleMania as the world's champion. Well, you heard from these two men when they came face-to-face this past Thursday night. They ain't gonna hold nothing back. Styles especially, who has been very vocal, realizing that he only has so many more opportunities like this left in his career to become a world champion. AJ Styles, 20-plus year veteran, held the world championship for mere moments last August, and you gotta believe he wants nothing more than to do so again. AJ, the first one to knock Damian Priest off his feet here. You best believe neither of these men are going to underestimate one another. They have been in the ring with each other before. Styles especially has beaten Damian Priest before, but he didn't do it without a fight. Damian Priest, who knocked Styles down this time. Got to be willing to push past his limits tonight if he wants to leave here still the World Heavyweight Champion. Damian Priest, of course, defending that World Championship successfully in his hometown of New York City. Month and change ago at Survivor Series against Big Bronson Reed, a man who was a runner-up in the Royal Rumble earlier on. Reed's arch nemesis, the megastar LA Knight. An impressive, hard-fought victory for Priest back at Survivor Series in the Garden. And tonight, Damian Priest going to need to do just that and then some if he's going to keep down one of the best to ever do it, a future Hall of Famer, no doubt about it, and AJ Styles. AJ Styles debuted in the WWE 10 years ago with this very event. Talk about a way to celebrate your 10-year anniversary here in the WWE than by winning the heavyweight championship of the world. Right now, Styles ain't looking anywhere close to winning the titles. Priest is just stomping a mud hole in the challenger. Styles roll to the outside, trying to catch some breath, but Damian Priest gonna close the gap, coming off the apron with the clothesline. That is no small man, ladies and gentlemen. Damian Priest with some size and stature and some power about him. Knocking AJ Styles down for a brief moment, and Damian Priest taking his time, sending Styles back inside of the ring. You gotta believe Priest has been replaying the events of the King of the Ring finals last summer over and over again, leading up to tonight's matchup, trying to figure out where he went wrong and what he needs to do right here tonight in Phoenix. Priest into the cover. Swept the legs right up from underneath AJ Styles' feet. Only a 1 count that time, and I don't think Priest is very surprised about that, but went for the cover nonetheless. Standing switch by Styles, just when you think he got Styles back against the wall. This man, many a times throughout his career, has rose like a phoenix, no pun intended, with our location tonight. Collapsing Priest out of the corner. Now Styles going somewhere. He is extremely comfortable, hoisted on the middle rope. Beautifully executed arm drag. Making another. This is what Priest can't allow, Styles to pick up the pace and really dictate the overall pace of this matchup. Damian Priest has got to bring the fight. He's got to break this down to a brawl, something he is very comfortable with. He allows Styles to start flying. It's going to be a long night for the champion. Sunset flip out of the corner. Into the pin, only a 1. Styles now winning the ropes, and there's that signature knee that he failed to hit in the early moments. Phoenix, Arizona, on their feet. AJ Styles in firm control, at least for now. He'll be going for a brain buster here. Loves to implore at Damian Priest, using his size and his strength to try to outweigh Styles that time. Gets out of that predicament, and now slams Styles down to the canvas once more. Damian Priest knew what he was getting into when he awarded AJ Styles this championship matchup here tonight at the Rumble. And Damian coming off the middle, cutting AJ in half with a spear. Incredible maneuver. For the first time, we're actually seeing a 2 count in this heavyweights championship contest. Damian Priest digging deep down in the bag of tricks, and you know he has to. Uh-oh, picking up the pace. Damian Priest running over AJ Styles like a Mack truck. Damian Priest, I'm sure, has a bitter taste in his mouth from the King of the Ring finals last summer when Styles knocked him out with a phenomenal forearm and took away Priest's opportunity to fight for a title at SummerSlam. My goodness! Turning AJ inside out, and that's as close as we've got to a finish thus far. Great respect there. And dare I say, the fact that these two men have such great respect for each other and acknowledge the style, the attributes, the competitor that they are in the ring with, it's only going to make them push farther. It's only going to make them dish out that much more offense. Priest now running head start, using the rope for leverage, and trucks AJ Styles down at the clothesline. And what a match thus far for the World's Championship here at the Royal Rumble. This is the SmackDown respective main event. Who will start down the road to WrestleMania as the World's Champion? Uh-oh, AJ out on the apron, catches Damian Priest, slingshot DDT. Styles now taking a moment to recalibrate a game plan. Uh-oh, signature offense by the Phenomenal One. And just like that, AJ Styles back in control. Damian Priest looks like he doesn't know what hit him. Priest now up against the ropes. It's the only thing keeping him on his feet, but he just got sent to the outside. Uh-oh! Here comes AJ! My goodness! What a maneuver over the top! The old Fosbury flop! AJ Styles pulling out maneuvers that are certainly a rarity at this stage in his career. Sending Priest back inside. Priest trying to get back to the soles of his boots, but AJ comes flying off the top with an elbow. And Styles smells championship gold on the horizon. Not just yet, Damian Priest still in this fight. Priest trying to get back to his feet, but obviously has had an ounce taken out of him by the challenger. AJ Styles, world-traveled veteran, over the last 20-plus years, has held world championship everywhere he's gone. Looking to hold another title tonight. Damian Priest, who is holding his first ever world heavyweight title. Not looking to see it slip through his fingers just yet. Styles positioned on the top rope off the reversal by Damian. Uh-oh, what's Priest got in mind here? A fall-away slam! Oh man, SmackDown legend John Bradshaw Layfield will be proud of that. AJ Styles getting sent, and Damian Priest once again gonna run him over. Massive fall-away slam. AJ Styles only back on his feet because Damian Priest chose that, and now plants Styles once more. And it's another kick out. Oh, and you can see Damian Priest thought that was it. The shock was written all over his face. The fall-away slam, the powerful clothesline, that flatliner AJ Styles. I think Damian Priest thought Styles had flatlined in that given moment. Well, Styles still fighting, just like he said he would this past Thursday night on SmackDown. Oh, man! AJ Styles with a signature Pele kick to try to get back into the driver's seat here in the Mortgage Matchup Center. Damian Priest sent to ringside. I should say set on the apron here. They're going to put the brakes on, get AJ Styles off his tail, create some distance, and hangs up Styles in the top. Damian Priest now taking his time, not trying to allow another rally. It's Priest heading to the tippy top rope and awaiting AJ Styles to get to the soles of his boots. What's Priest got in mind? A shoulder block by the heavyweight champion. Damian Priest, like a shark that smells blood in the water, realizes AJ Styles is hurt and it's time to strike, or maybe not. Standing switch by the challenger. And just when you think AJ's done for it, he wraps up Priest, and oh my goodness, what a neck breaker. AJ Styles turning back the clock, showing you why he is phenomenal. These two men have had a rough road, a bumpy one to the Royal Rumble, dealing with the likes of Drew McIntyre and Sheamus on SmackDown. Tonight, that's all in the rearview mirror as they focus on one another. Styles with Priest. Oh my goodness, look at the strength. Brain buster on the top buckle. That is one of the maneuvers that aided Styles in winning the gold back in SummerSlam. 450 splash. It's over. Count the three. No. About as close as you can get to the world's title changing hands. You gotta tip your cap to Damian Priest. The toughness, the intestinal fortitude of the champion, the brain buster on the top, and then the 450 splash by Styles. That's a combination that knocks any normal man out. Well, I think if we didn't know already, Damian Priest has shown us in recent months, from Hell in the Cell to the Triple Threat Survivor Series to right here tonight, that he is simply built different. One of the toughest that SmackDown, hell, this entire industry has to offer. And somehow he's still alive and bringing the fight to AJ Styles, who just got sent right to the outside. Uh-oh, we got a flying world champion here in Phoenix. Taking a page out of his idol, The Undertaker's book, another former world champion. Styles ragdolled back inside of the ring. Damian now going for a second flatliner. Styles face first. That's got to do it. And another near fall here at Phoenix. This is what the World Championship means to these two individuals. But you gotta start to wonder, who wants it more? Who's got enough left in the tank? Will it be Damian Priest or will it be AJ Styles starting down the road to WrestleMania as the heavyweight champion of the world? Styles trying to catch a breather. Oh, maybe he was just goating Damian Priest in. Remember, it was a phenomenal forearm back in the King of the Ring finals that ultimately put Styles over the edge to win the title. Springboard, DDT, back on the top rope. Spiral tap. Spiral tap by AJ Styles. And he's not done just yet. AJ looking for the exclamation point. Styles clash to win the title. You gotta be kidding. Holy The spiral tap. How much it takes out of AJ just to deliver that maneuver. It takes that much more out of the opponent. And hold on here. South of heaven. Styles got caught. Styles got caught. But it's not enough. It's not enough. How the hell are these two men still fighting? The spiral tap. The Styles clash. The South of heaven. Yet somehow, some way, champion, challenger, back on the soles of their feet. This is one of the damnedest things I've ever seen. One of the greatest fights I've ever witnessed for the World's Heavyweight Championship as they're duking it out, jockeying for position. Styles sent to the far corner, and Damian Priest crushes him. You gotta wonder what it's gonna take as Damian Priest brings AJ Styles, the phenomenal one, back to his feet, and they go back into the corner. Priest hoisting AJ up. Wait a minute here. We've seen this before. An avalanche south of heaven. Off the ropes, dead center of the ring. This one's over. First premium live event of 2026. I think we just got a match of the year candidate. Man, we knew we were gonna be in for something special. We knew these two men brought the best out of one another. You saw the King of the Ring finals last year. You anticipated a battle that much greater this time around. And on a night where the road to WrestleMania begins, here in Phoenix at the Royal Rumble, two of this industry's best, pushing each other past their limits. But only one man could leave the Rumble as the World Heavyweight Champion. And we now know that the right to the gold belongs to the punishment, belongs to the Archer of Infamy, as Damian Priest retains the Heavyweight Championship of the world.
Here is your winner, and still the World Heavyweight Champion, Damian Priest.
An incredible effort, nothing to be ashamed of in defeat by the phenomenal AJ Styles. But tonight, you gotta tip your cap to Damian Priest, who rewrote history, beat the man who defeated him back in the King of the Ring finals last year. He threw out the challenge, he put his back against the wall, and Damian Priest rose to the occasion tonight. And that's what being the heavyweight champion of the world is all about. There's a reason Damian Priest holds that gold and is on top of SmackDown today, and it's because of resilient fights and victories like that. We're on the road to WrestleMania, and Damian Priest is moving one step closer to the grandest stage of them all as champion.
In case you've been living under a rock, WWE is on fire right now.
Professional wrestling is electrifying once again.
And next year, we're bringing the show of shows to Las Vegas. WrestleMania in the entertainment capital of the world. Only question is, are you ready?
Well, as the sun sets here in the valley of it, what a heavyweight championship matchup moments ago. Congratulations, Damian Priest, who kickstarts his road to WrestleMania as the world champion on SmackDown. But of course, another man that we know is marching one step closer to WrestleMania was the last man standing in tonight's 30-man Royal Rumble matchup. I want to take you back to earlier on here in the Mortgage Matchup Center in Phoenix. Big Bronson Reed from SmackDown, CM Punk from Monday Night Raw, the final two in the Royal Rumble matchup. CM Punk doing his damnedest to hang in there with the All-Silla, but it seemed as if Bronson Reed was moments away from sending the best in the world over the top rope. But a feat of strength by the best in the world himself, CM Punk delivering a GTS, sending Bronson Reed up and over, and CM Punk solidifying his spot in the main event of WrestleMania in March in Las Vegas. Who will be joining CM Punk? Who will be the women's winner of the Royal Rumble? We find out right now!
The following contest is the Royal Rumble match! Now, the two superstars that drew number 1 and number 2 will start the ring at the same time. Other superstars will join in the order they drew. This will continue until all 30 superstars have entered the ring. Eliminations occur when you are thrown over the top rope with both feet landing on the floor. The last superstar in the ring will be declared the Royal Rumble winner and will go on to face the champion of their choice at WrestleMania!
Well, here we go! The Women's Royal Rumble matchup continues us forward here in Phoenix, and look who drew number 1.
Introducing the participants. First, representing the Kabuki Warriors from Osaka, Japan.
Well, of course, one member of the Kabuki Warriors we know won't be a part of the Royal Rumble matchup is the current Women's World Champion in Io Sky from SmackDown. But her Kabuki Warrior sister and the Empress of Tomorrow, Asuka, drawing the unfortunate honor of position number 1 in the 30-woman Royal Rumble matchup. We saw Seth Rollins start this matchup earlier tonight, nearly made it all the way to the end. An unfortunate outing for Seth Rollins after an incredible performance earlier tonight. Maybe Asuka will have a different destiny. Asuka knows what it's like to compete at WrestleMania for championship gold. She's one of the most dominant women in WWE history. Tonight could mark the night that brings Asuka back to the top come the show of shows. Well, let's see who drew number 2. Oh, well, what are the odds? It's gonna be Kabuki Warrior versus Kabuki Warrior because the Sky Pirate, Kairi Sane, has drawn number 2.
Introducing the individual who drew number 2, representing the Kabuki Warriors from Yamaguchi, Japan, Kairi Sane!
Well, I'm sure these two women would much rather not fight each other, but at the same time, if that's the fate that lies before them, I don't think they're going to hold back either. These two women live for the spirit of competition. Asuka at number 1, and now Kairi Sane at number 2. Well, I gotta say, this is a hell of a way to kick off the 2026 Women's Royal Rumble matchup. We talked about Asuka, one of the most dominated, dare I say most decorated champions in WWE history. But let's not gloss over the accolades of one Kairi Sane. Of course, last year at WrestleMania, Kairi Sane became the inaugural Women's United States Champion. Now through the Royal Rumble has a chance to move up the ladder and compete for the Women's World Championship come WrestleMania. Well, CM Punk is going to WrestleMania via the men's side. Who will join him via the women's side? The Women's Royal Rumble matchup is underway. Asuka and Kairi Sane starting out this thing, and oh, maybe they won't fight each other off the bell. Oh, well, hold on here, Asuka. You might want to turn around. Kairi Sane, I think, is much more interested in trying to win the Royal Rumble matchup than play to this Phoenix audience. Oh, well, Kairi better not get overzealous. Jesus. Well, as we said, when Kairi Sane was walking down the aisle, these two women with no quarrel, with the spirit of competition. Both women from the land of the rising sun. The fighting spirit runs through their blood. Kairi Sane and Asuka, although sisters, although tag team partners, gonna have to go through one another. In the midst of the Royal Rumble matchup, it's every woman for herself in this style of field. Let's see who's gonna be joining the Kabuki Warrior party. Might be smart for Asuka and Kairi Sane to team up and go after whoever is coming out now. Oh man, well look at this. Entrance number 3. A woman who has teamed up with Asuka and Kairi Sane in recent memory, going back to Survivor Series. It's the Women's United States Champion from SmackDown, the beautiful Madness, Julia. Well, Julia, along with Io Sky, Kairi Sane, and Asuka, picked up the W in that traditional Survivor Series matchup over a month ago. But as we are seeing right now, they're no problem going through one another as Julia enters at number 3, and now Asuka may be the first casualty of the Royal Rumble matchup. Asuka creating a little bit of separation and trying to make sure the future Hall of Famer in herself is not going to be the first one hitting the showers here in the Morgan's Matchup Center. I'll tell you what, first 3 entrants in this Royal Rumble matchup, 3 potential winners from my estimation. 3 of the top women on Thursday Night SmackDown today. There's some one-on-one matchups in the midst of these 3 that I would love to see in the near future, but who is going to join the party at number 4? Oh, we got our first NXT combatant in the Women's Royal Rumble match. It's going to be Kiana James. I'll tell you something that Kiana's got over all 3 of these women. That's the size and stature. Might be a lot easier for her to throw some bodies over the top rope. Look at Kiana muscling up Asuka and sending her for a ride. Now imagine if she just sends her over the ropes. Kiana James could possibly be a dark horse in the Royal Rumble matchup. First NXT entrant. Saw Ethan Page and Joe Hendry earlier tonight from NXT in the men's side. Kiana James may just be followed here in the Women's Royal Rumble. Remains to be seen as Julia takes out Kiana and Kairi Sane far side of the ring. Still trying to eliminate the Empress of Tomorrow, Asuka. This is not Julia's first Royal Rumble matchup here. She competed last year during her time in NXT. Dare I say the most dominant superstar in last year's Royal Rumble was throwing out bodies left and right. As Asuka and Kairi Sane continuing to go through one another, and we await our next combatant here in Phoenix. And a number 5 from SmackDown, it's going to be American-made Ivy Nile. I'm sure Ivy Nile would love to bring some good mojo back to American-made after the leader of American-made, Chad Gable, fell short to the Mad Dragon, Ilya Dragunov, in that United States Championship Clinic. What a matchup it was this past Thursday night in Tempe. Ivy looking for the first elimination here. Great power in the frame of Ivy Nile. Her strong suit, absolutely. 5 entrants thus far, not one body has been tossed as Julia now hoisting Ivy Nile up in the Women's United States Champion. Well, she was in control for a moment. Can't turn your back on anybody in this kind of a matchup. You gotta have eyes in the back of your head, which is, of course, easier said than done. As soon as you think you got the momentum, you're getting jumped from behind or possibly tossed and set over the top rope. Kairi Sane miscalculating Ivy Niles' position inside of that ring, similar to how she did Asuka earlier on. Risky business going to the air in a matchup like this. Number 6 going to be on their way, coming out now. And it is Monday Night Raw's former Intercontinental Champion and Alba Fire of the Unholy Union. Alba Fire's been in a little bit of a rough patch on Monday Night Raw ever since losing the Intercontinental Gold back in the late part of fall to Stephanie McCare. So Alba Fire, we're talking about a way to bounce back. Winning the Royal Rumble, certainly a way to do so, and she's got the tools to do it. Champion in recent memory on Monday nights. And it's almost surprised me how Asuka and Kairi Sane, I know they started this match with one another, but they are just continuing to fight one another. And Alba Fire, well, breaking up the fight, and so did Julia. Julia, current United States champion on SmackDown, going after the inaugural United States champion and Kairi Sane, of course, Liv Morgan, the bridge between those two women. Ivy Nile, far corner on the middle row. Meanwhile, Julia, boot scraping Kairi Sane in the corner, just paintbrushing the Sky Pirate herself. Oof. Action-packed night, to say the least, here in the Mortgage Matchup Center as SmackDown's Maxine Dupree gonna enter the fold. Maxine, of course, was shortly under the tutelage of Chad Gable back in 2024, and Maxine, along with Otis and Akira Tozawa, trying to reshape the Alpha Academy in 2025. Maxine trying to get into some more action on SmackDown as of late. We saw her bring the fight to Raquel Rodriguez recently on SmackDown, and now entering the Royal Rumble matchup, hoping to do some good. Uh-oh, look at Julia. Got Kairi Sane up on her shoulders, and Kairi going for a ride, and Asuka maybe going for a ride via Kairi Sane, and she's gone! Man, no love lost between Kairi Sane and Asuka for one reason or another. I think a little friendly competition between those two women in this matchup, and Kairi Sane getting the best of the Empress of Tomorrow. Asuka the first elimination, as Julia might have just knocked Kiana James right out cold. Alba Fire holding on via Maxine Dupree, and Alba Fire's got some help now, and Maxine Dupree sent over the top rope as Alba Fire's tag team partner, the Unholy Union, the White Witch, Isla Dawn, is in this thing, and there goes Ivy Nile. I think Kairi Sane, I think Ivy Nile, or I should say Isla Dawn even might have got some hands on Ivy. Might both get credit for that elimination, and Isla Dawn may be about to go here via Julia and Kairi, but not just yet. I think Isla's trying to get to the far side of the ring to help out her tag team partner, but there's a whole line of women in her way. Not really helping her cause as Kairi Sane nearly eliminated. Maxine Dupree going after the White Witch. 2025, Unholy Union really making their presence felt on Monday Night Raw. Talked about that Intercontinental Championship reign of Alba Fire that spanned for almost 6 months on the red brand. Julia and Kairi Sane continuing to go at it. Well, maybe not for long. Look at Julia, exploder suplex. Big elimination there as the current Women's United States Champion eliminates the inaugural United States Champion, Kairi Sane. Well, the two women who started this matchup out of here, Julia, the Unholy Union, NXT's Kiana James, and Maxine Dupree, the lay of the land at the given moment. Although Isla Dawn teetering in the far corner, and Alba Fire's backed up in one as well. Oh, and here comes a former NXT superstar, recently signed to SmackDown in recent months. Maxine Dupree eliminated, and Lola Vice bringing the fight to the woman who caused that casualty, and that's Alba Fire. Lola Vice had a hell of a matchup in the midst of the Pick Your Poison against Io Sky a couple of months ago on SmackDown. Impressed so highly against the Women's World Champion, she was offered a SmackDown contract. Seen a little bit of Lola on Thursday nights. I'm sure we'd love to see more of her. Isla Dawn getting sent to the corner. Lola Vice looking to make her presence felt in her very first Royal Rumble matchup. Uh-oh! Alba Fire wiping her out. Julia and Kiana James focused on each other in the far corner, well, at least for a minute. Lola Vice outnumbered by the Unholy Union. This the non-stop action that the Royal Rumble matchup can bring. We were reminded of it earlier tonight when bodies were flying left and right. Some massive names did not last long. The Royal Rumble, a completely unpredictable matchup. Uh-oh. Business gonna pick up at number 10. The irresistible force, Nia Jax, is in the Royal Rumble. Well, it's been a little bit since we've seen Nia Jax. I believe the last time she was in action was that tables matchup against Rhea Ripley a couple of months ago on Monday Night Raw. Nia Jax back here. I'm sure would love to cross paths with Rhea Ripley if their fates so desire it in the Royal Rumble matchup, but Nia Jax bringing the fight to Kiana James right now. Nia may be the biggest target in this matchup. You remember she was... Oh, wait a minute, hold that thought. Eliminated Lola Vice. Nia Jax sending Lola Vice out of here. As we were about to say, remember Nia Jax returned to the WWE with the number 30 position in last year's Royal Rumble matchup. Julia's got Kiana James, excuse me, and now Isla Dawn as well. Nia Jax tearing up the competition. Oh, and at number 11, another NXT superstar, it's Sol Ruca. We actually saw Sol Ruca in action a couple of weeks ago at the channel member exclusive New Year's Evil event. She took on Stephanie Vaquer for the Women's Intercontinental Championship. Impressed on that night, she's looking to impress here in the Rumble. Kiana James gone. That is 3 eliminations already for the irresistible force, Nia Jax, and more may be on the horizon. Oh, the biggest target in this matchup, no doubt about it, as she's got the United States champion Julia up. And look at it, knock her lights out. 4 women in the match at the given moment. At their 11th entrance, Alba Fire and Sol Ruca going at it. That'd be a hell of a one-on-one match down the line. Nia Jax continuing to work over the United States champion of SmackDown, the beautiful Madness Julia, who's been in this matchup since the number 3 entrant. Some fresh legs to be running down the aisle. And at number 12, it is Bayley from Thursday Night SmackDown. Bayley familiar with a couple of superstars in this ring. Look at her, going right after Alba Fire. Fire trying to hold on here, and Bayley picking her spots wisely, it seems, as Nia Jax now. She's got Sol Ruca nearly centered through the canvas. My goodness. Oh, Julie, I don't know if you want to continue to go after Nia Jax here. Maybe wise to stay on the opposite side of the ring from that woman. Nia's just been destructive in this matchup since her entrance. Nia looking to refocus on the NXT superstar Sol Ruca, who was nearly sent to the canvas moments ago, but Ruca fighting back and takes the giant off her feet. Gotta look at these NXT superstars. They could be the dark horses in this matchup. Hard to prepare for someone you weren't expecting to be in the Royal Rumble. Sol Ruca taking the fight to the veteran and Bayley right now as we await the next entrant here in Phoenix, Arizona. And we have another SmackDown representative. It is Chelsea Green return to action tonight. Been a minute since we've seen Chelsea in action on SmackDown, but Green looking to take the fight to everybody here in the Royal Rumble matchup. If you look back at last year's Rumble, Chelsea Green was the first elimination, but if we try to brush that to the side, maybe Chelsea Green will have better luck at 26. Or remains to be seen. Looks to do her damnedest right now. Look at Sol Ruca back to her feet. Meanwhile, Julia focused on Alba Fire. My goodness, knockout blow any day of the week. Twice on Sunday. Uh-oh. Down goes Nia Jax off the Hurricane Rana. Oh, maybe a little tandem offense here by Bayley and Chelsea Green. Odd pairing. They're both wearing red. Nia Jax runs over Chelsea. I'm sure the Women's World Champion Io Sky and the woman who retained her WWE Women's title, Roxanne Perez, earlier tonight had their eyes on this Rumble. Could be looking at potential opponents for WrestleMania. Oh, and we got another NXT superstar. At number 14, it is Lash Legend. Oh, well, wait a minute. Hold all thoughts. Chelsea Green about to read her last rites. My goodness. might need a shovel to get Chelsea Green out of here. Oh, see you, bye.
Chelsea Green has been eliminated.
Nia Jax with the Samoan drop, just squashing Chelsea Green like a bug and eliminates her. I believe that is the 4th elimination from my estimation for the Irresistible Force right now. I'll tell you what, let's get Lash Legend focusing on Nia Jax. She may be the only person in that ring right now who's got the power to throw Nia over the top rope. We got 2 NXT superstars in there right now, 2 from Raw, 2 from SmackDown. Even playing field across the brands of WWE as Nia Jax is focusing on Lash. Look at the power of Jax, my goodness. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are halfway through the Women's Royal Rumble, and at number 15, it is Naomi, who's probably got a bone to pick with Julia after Naomi was defeated by the Beautiful Madness this past Thursday night. And Naomi literally, I should say almost, eliminating Bayley that time. And those 2 women, no strangers to one another, have actually been partners many a times on SmackDown, dating back to last year. So much action to keep up with here. Wait a minute. Lash Legend eliminated. Another elimination for Nia Jax. And Bayley with a rose plant on Nia. My, oh my, Nia Jax, the woman to beat in this Royal Rumble matchup. Naomi, the 15th entrant. We are halfway through the Women's Royal Rumble here in the Mortgage Matchup Center. One of these women in the ring, or one of the women still to come, will be one of them headlining WrestleMania. And at number 16, a former NXT superstar who recently signed to Monday Night Raw, it is Kalani Jordan. Meanwhile, Bayley teetering for her life there. Nia Jax and Naomi teaming up in this matchup. I'm surprised to see Naomi going after Bayley as much as she is, to be perfectly honest. A lot of positive history between those 2 women teaming up with one another, but every woman for herself in the Royal Rumble match. That we know for sure as Nia hoisting Sol Ruka up in the air, excuse me. Meanwhile, Julia focusing on Alba Fire. There she goes! Julia eliminates Alba. Nia eliminates Naomi. Kalani now in the air. There she goes. I believe that is 7 eliminations. Oh my goodness. Make it 8 now. Sol Ruka holds on. Nia Jax is on a tyrant in the Royal Rumble matchup. There are 3 women walking to the back right now, 2 of them by hands of Nia Jax. The unpredictability of the Royal Rumble matchup. Julia just got Rose planted and a code breaker to Nia. And now business gonna pick up at number 17, the EST of the WWE, Bianca Belair. Well, Bianca Belair, I think's head has not been in the right place as of late. Watching her tag team partner Jade Cargill really dawn a new attitude on Monday Night Raw. Meanwhile, look at the strength of Bianca. Holy hell! That's the biggest KOD I ever seen. But she's got to get Nia over the top rope, which is easier said than done. Bianca Belair, it may be wise to get some help from Julia or Sol Ruka or Bayley. All 4 of these women got to gang up on Nia Jax to try to get her over the top rope. But Bianca the only one right now. I'm not sure she's going to be enough. That was the biggest kiss of death I ever seen. And somehow Nia Jax is fighting back. 7 eliminations for Nia thus far. Meanwhile, Julia with Bayley on her shoulders, and down goes Bayley. Nia now turning her attention to NXT's Sol Ruka. Impressive performance thus far from that woman. And joining the party next at number 18, there's the goddess Alexa Bliss from Raw. 6th woman in the matchup right now. Nia Jax, keep your eyes on her. She's got her eyes on Sol Ruka, who's got to be feeling the fatigue of the battle. And there she goes. We are up to 8 eliminations for Nia Jax here in Phoenix. At this point, you gotta believe Nia, the odds-on favorite to win this Royal Rumble matchup and challenge for whatever championship she so desires at WrestleMania. So women are getting their licks in, but it certainly just isn't enough. Alexa and Bayley going at it, Julia and Bianca going at it. That's a one-on-one matchup I'd love to see in the future. Julia versus Bianca Belair. Bianca just mowing over the beautiful Madness, and Nia gonna do the same.
Bayley has been eliminated.
Well, we got an elimination that did not come at the hands of Nia Jax. It is Bayley who is gone via Alexa Bliss. And now at number 19, it is one half of the Women's Tag Team Champions, the man, Becky Lynch. Phoenix, Arizona on their feet for the action as Becky Lynch, well, welcome to the Rumble. Maybe a short-lived Rumble appearance for the man. Just got dumped by Nia, then a German by Julia. Alexa, I don't think that's wise. I don't think you're getting Nia off her feet, and Alexa Bliss skinning the cat. Really the latest casualty of the irresistible force here. 5 women in the ring right now after 19 entrants, still 11 to come here in the Mortgage Matchup Center. Trying to find out who's going to punch their ticket to March 7th or 8th in Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas at WrestleMania. Nia choking the life out of Becky Lynch into a backbreaker. Oh my goodness, ragdoll on her. And number 20, Piper Niven back in action as well. Maybe she'll have better luck than her tag team partner Chelsea Green did. Well, she goes right after the woman who eliminated her partner, and that's Nia Jax. And Julia gonna plant Bianca. And Piper might be best case scenario. She's trying to get Nia Jax over the top rope, and oh, well, look at this here. Already, Piper may be on the verge of elimination, but trying to fight back. Never know who's going to stand side by side, at least for a brief moment in time in the Royal Rumble matchup, but Alexa, Piper, and Nia having a fight on the far side of the ring. Julia and Bianca continue to focus on one another. Becky Lynch, one half of the tag team champions, of course, with the Queen, Charlotte Flair. Those two women have been dealing with a Liv Morgan, Raquel Rodriguez problem across Raw and SmackDown as of late. Certainly a developing issue there between all of those women. Certainly the rest of the women that I previously mentioned still to come in this Royal Rumble matchup. Number 21, it is Zoe Stark, who I'm sure is looking to bounce back after a loss, to the Juggernaut Jordan Grace a number of weeks ago on SmackDown. Zoe Stark, former tag team champion in her own right, looking for an impressive performance in the Rumble as she's got Nia Jax up. Maybe Zoe's gonna be the one to make some history here in Phoenix. Nia Jax, however, holding on. Meanwhile, Piper Niven, look at the power, able to save herself. A lot of moving parts in that 20x20 box right now. Hold on, look at Alexa eliminating Piper Niven. Alexa Bliss with 2 eliminations herself. Don't discount the veteran, former women's champion in her own right. First Bayley, then Piper Niven. Alexa Bliss going on a run here in the Rumble. Uh-oh. Bianca in the sky. And it's another one for Nia. Oh my goodness, well the dominance of Nia Jax continues as the other half of the tag team champion, Charlotte Flair, is on the scene. Well, it's been a couple of minutes. I believe that's 9 eliminations for Nia Jax. Just continuing to stack the bodies here in Phoenix, Arizona. Becky now going after Alexa Bliss, who has had an impressive showing thus far. Oh, look at this. Inadvertently, the tag team champions. Oh, my goodness here. Nia with both the champions on her shoulders and a double Samoan drop to the women's tag team champions. And Charlotte Flair set over the top rope by Nia Jax. Holding on for dear life, but I don't think she's got much fight left in her after that Samoan drop, and the Queen's gone. Charlotte Flair, of all people, in and out of the Rumble, and Nia Jax has eliminated a quarter of the field. I can't believe the events we are witnessing here. There's 30 participants in this matchup. Nia's eliminated 10 of them. Charlotte Flair making the walk back to the showers a hell of a lot earlier than she would have expected. Becky Lynch somehow still moving, as Julia's got Becky hoisted on the top rope. Meanwhile, Alexa with a twisted bliss on Zoe Stark. Man, look out for Alexa. She's having a hell of a Rumble thus far. And now at number 23, Jade Cargill enters the fight. And that's a third elimination for Alexa Bliss as Zoe Stark is gone. And look at Cargill. Well, maybe we finally have an equalizer to Nia Jax. Jade Cargill, who's been pissed off as of late. A new attitude certainly for Cargill on Monday Night Raw.
Alexa Bliss has been eliminated.
Alexa Bliss eliminated. Great showing for the goddess, however. Jade Cargill is making a run at Stephanie Vaquer's Women Intercontinental Championship as of late. Not going how she so desired, but Cargill certainly had an attitude about her, one that I don't think Bianca Belair has taken too kindly to. Jade looking to take out some pent-up aggression, looking to make the opportunities by her own hands here in the Royal Rumble matchup. Jade Cargill, Nia Jax dominating the ring, but I want to see those two women go at each other. Jade may be the equalizer to Nia, or Nia may catch another body here in the Rumble. Number 24 on their way. Another NXT superstar, former NXT champion, it is Gacy Jane. Look at Nia Jax here. Hoisted Becky up in a snake eyes out of the corner. Gacy Jane taking the fight to Jade Cargill, and hold on here. Oh my goodness!
Gacy Jane has been eliminated.
Well, thanks for coming. Another elimination for Nia Jax. I believe we are up to 11 eliminations now for the Irresistible Force, and she may be on the verge of another. Becky Lynch teetering. Gacy Jane, I think she was in there quicker than Charlotte Flair was. Nevertheless, Becky Lynch has got Nia at least dazed for the moment. Julia's got her eyes on the competition. Nia's teetering here. Jade, Julia, you might want to get in the fight and try to take out the biggest target, but obviously they're more focused on one another, and I'm not sure Becky Lynch has the strength at this point in the matchup to eliminate Nia. Number 25, the woman who made her return to action this past Monday Night on Raw, the Buff Barbie, Tiffany Stratton. Tiffany and Nia teamed up many a times in the past. They could be a dominant duo here in the Rumble. Nia Jax with Becky Lynch and sending her over the top.
Becky Lynch has been eliminated.
12 eliminations. 12 eliminations for Nia Jax.
Nia Jax has been eliminated.
And finally, somebody takes care of the Irresistible Force. 12 eliminations behind Nia Jax in the Rumble. Jade Cargill eliminates Nia. Well, suddenly it went from Nia's the odds-on favorite to it's anybody's ball game. Jade Cargill, Tiffany Stratton, and the number 3 entrant, the Women's United States Champion Julia, the 3 women left standing at the given moment. Number 26 on their way. Oh, and how apropos. Julia's the only one standing tall, and her greatest rival since joining SmackDown, the woman she defeated for the United States title, Liv Morgan. About to be eliminated by, or I should say about to eliminate Jade Cargill, but Liv Morgan and Julia, a hell of a lot of history. Liv now coming into the fight. Oh, and there goes Cargill. Well, Liv sent her over the top. Julia finished the job. Well, Jade Cargill may not have gotten the victory she so desired, but I think she got the biggest elimination of this matchup, defeating Nia Jax. Julia, who defeated Liv Morgan just a few weeks ago on SmackDown for the United States title that she currently possesses. I'm sure Liv Morgan would love to win the Royal Rumble matchup and get back some championship gold. There's just a couple of more entrants to come here in the Women's Royal Rumble matchup. 3 top names of their respective brands in the ring right now. Jade Cargill makes the walk back to the backstage area. Stratton, Julia, and Liv left standing. And at number 27, the Women's Intercontinental Champion, Stephanie McCare. It is going to sting for Jade Cargill as she walks to the backstage area and watches Stephanie hit the ring. Stephanie McCare enters her very first Royal Rumble matchup tonight in Phoenix, one of 2025's breakout superstars. Oh, she could be about to go, and Stephanie holding on for dear life. We'll get a load of this. We got the Women's Intercontinental Champion, the Women's United States Champion, Julia and Stephanie, 2 of last year's breakout superstars, 2 of their brands' respective best in the ring right now. Stratton and Liv Morgan had a couple of battles in their time. As a matter of fact, back in 2024, Tiffany Stratton defeated Liv Morgan in the semifinals of the Queen of the Ring tournament that Stratton would go on to win. I'll tell you, 4 top names, anybody's ball games, and there's still a couple of more to walk down the aisle here. Who is coming out next? Number 28. Oh, and it's a woman who has been hell-bent on challenging for the Women's World Championship that Io Sky currently holds. It's the juggernaut, Jordynne Grace, who enters her second Royal Rumble matchup. Last year, she was a member of the NXT brand. Jordynne Grace now in the ring, a part of SmackDown, and taking the fight to Liv Morgan. Jordynne Grace, who has been all over Io Sky on SmackDown, attacking her from behind, laying her out. Oh, wait a minute, speaking of getting laid out, Alabama slammer by Stratton. And Stratton taking out both Julia and Jordynne. Stratton not afraid to fly high in the sky. Stephanie McCare, meanwhile, on the far side of the ring, could be on the verge of eliminating Liv Morgan here. Liv trying to hold on. Liv, a former women's champion in her own right, getting Stephanie off her tail. 2 more entrants to come here in the Morgan's matchup center. Oh, well, it looks like Liv Morgan's going to have a little assistance. The former 2-time Women's World Champion, Raquel Rodriguez from SmackDown, is in the house. Raquel better turn around. Liv Morgan nearly eliminated by Jordynne Grace. Liv Morgan, Jordynne Grace, Tiffany Stratton, Raquel Rodriguez, Stephanie McCare, and Julia in the ring right now. With 1 more entrant to come, and I wonder who it could be standing behind that curtain. Julia and Stephanie McCare going at it. Certainly a dream matchup in a WWE ring. Jordynne Grace, Raquel Rodriguez, 2 powerhouses of Thursday nights. Jordynne Grace picking up Liv Morgan. We're looking to take her out for good, but Liv Morgan with a chop blocking. Liv and Raquel starting to run roughshod over the ring. Number 30 on their way in the Women's Royal Rumble. Jordynne Grace eliminated, and the Nightmare, Rhea Ripley, is in the house. Raquel Rodriguez eliminates Jordynne Grace. Rhea Ripley enters the scene at number 30. One of these 6 women are going to WrestleMania. Oh man, what an all-star field at the end of this Women's Royal Rumble. Stratton takes out Raquel. Julia takes out Liv. This is awesome. This is what the Royal Rumble is all about. Make your pick and stick with it, because one of these 6 women are going to the dance. Rhea Ripley and Tiffany Stratton, a hell of a lot of history. Rhea Ripley, last year's Royal Rumble match winner, went on to defeat Tiffany Stratton for the Women's Championship at WrestleMania. Rhea Ripley's been extremely vocal about going back-to-back on Monday Night Raw. Will she be able to do so? Oh, she just got wiped out by Liv. I'll tell you what, Liv and Raquel might have the advantage here if they can find a way to try to take a step back, survey the scene, and start double teaming the rest of the field. Right now, Rhea Ripley focused on Stratton. Julia focused on Raquel. A lot of history between those two women as well. Stephanie McCare focusing on Liv Morgan. Wait a minute, Julia! Elimination!
Has been eliminated.
A huge elimination. Julia eliminates Raquel Rodriguez from the Royal Rumble, and we are down to 5. Liv Morgan may be joining Raquel, maybe making the walk back to the locker room together, but able to hold on. Rhea Ripley went to the top rope. I don't think was wise there, but made the wise decision to hop off before anybody can knock her off. Rhea and Stephanie going at it. They've been tag team partners in the past on Monday Night Raw. Tonight they are across the ring from one another. Julia going after the old rival in Liv Morgan. Another rivalry renewed as Rhea, my goodness, jackknife powerbomb on Stratton. Missile drop kick by Julia to Liv. Stephanie hoists Rhea up. Tiffany Stratton now. Alabama slammer. 8 defeat. My goodness, one maneuver after the other. These women just throwing live rounds in this matchup. And Liv would have just knocked Tiffany Stratton out cold. Liv Morgan going after Rhea. A lot of history between those two women. Rhea Ripley eliminated. That is huge. Liv Morgan is going to follow. Liv Morgan eliminates Rhea Ripley. That is huge, ladies and gentlemen. Rhea will not be going back-to-back this year in the Rumble. And then Julia eliminating her greatest rival since joining SmackDown in Liv Morgan. And all of a sudden, we are down to 3. Tiffany Stratton, who returned to Monday Night Raw this past week. She's a former women's champion, former Queen of the Ring winner. Stephanie McCare, who's the current reigning women's Intercontinental Champion on Raw. And you have the number 3 entrant, Julia, who's the current women's United States Champion on SmackDown. Stephanie McCare maybe hitting the showers. Tiffany Stratton looking to take care of La Primera. Julia, this is smart to try to take a step back, survey the scene, catch your breath here. As Stephanie McCare able to fight back and hold on. We're down to 3 women here in the Royal Rumble matchup. 3 incredible talents. And 3 women with still so much career ahead of them. One of them going to make history here by winning their first Royal Rumble matchup. Julia turns her attention to Stephanie, but she forgot about Tiffany Stratton for the moment. That may not be wise. Don't want to turn your back on any competitor inside of the ring. Everybody's throwing some stiff shots. Tiffany Stratton trying to go strong style in there with Stephanie and Julia, for my estimation. Might not be wise, but on the opposite side of the coin, maybe best case scenario. Maybe the only way to survive. Uh-oh, Julia looking to take care of the Buff Barbie. And after Stratton just got dropped, I got a feeling it may not be Tiffy time, but then Stephanie McCare, the Dark Angel, going to take out the Beautiful Madness. Stephanie McCare now sending Julia into the corner. Julia trying to fight back to avoid elimination and a big headbutt. Non-stop action the Women's Royal Rumble has provided here in the Valley of the Sun. Stephanie McCare, or I should say Tiffany Stratton, wiping out Julia with the moonsault. Stephanie McCare's laying out on the opposite side of the ring. Starting to get back to her feet here. Tiffany wise to make sure her back was not turned to Stephanie as Stephanie rose to the occasion. And all of a sudden it's Stratton that has taken over the ring. Sending Julia to the far corner. Julia trying to avoid elimination here. Stratton misses wildly with the kick. Julia trying to create some separation, get a little bit of R&R. Uh-oh! The game's gonna change. A little devil's kiss by Stephanie McCare to Tiffany Stratton. Well, Stratton, dare I say, has taken the biggest blows from both Julia and McCare. Might be wise to try to dump her over the top rope. And that's exactly what the Intercontinental Champion is now looking to do. Tiffany Stratton holding on for dear life, trying to make it sure that she does not get eliminated, trying to make sure she goes back to WrestleMania to compete for the women's title. Stephanie Vaquer sent over the top rope. Stratton not enough to finish the job. Exhaustion setting in for all these women. Tiffany Stratton, the number 25 entrant. Stephanie Vaquer, number 27. Juliet, number 3. CM Punk won for the number 27 position earlier tonight. Gotta wonder if that favors Stephanie Vaquer at all. Lightning will strike twice with that number. Stratton now with another Alabama slammer on the Intercontinental Champion. So we are witnessing history here. Stratton skinning the cat. Nearly eliminated. I just think you're seeing the fatigue on these women. They just don't have enough to finish the job. It's one thing to get the women over the top rope, but it's a whole other thing to knock them down to the floor. The exhaustion is playing a huge factor with this Final 3. Final 3 earlier tonight, CM Punk, Big Bronson Reed, Drew McIntyre, 3 All-Stars of their respective brands, and you're seeing the same deal here with the Women Royal Rumble. Stephanie throwing a blow, interrupting that shot. Stephanie's got her eyes on the Buff Barbie. Julia from behind. Maybe a little team up here. Oh no, Julia sent over the top rope, but Tiffany Stratton had her back turned. Stephanie Vaquer sent Stratton over. Stratton able to get the boots up. Man, what's it gonna take to see a conclusion to this Women's Rumble? Final 3, there are no more, ladies and gentlemen. It's gotta be one of these 3 women going to WrestleMania. Stratton unloading on the Intercontinental Champion. Stratton now going to the top rope. Swanton bomb on Stephanie Vaquer. Had her back turned. Julia now picking up Tiffany Stratton. Wiping her out. We've got some casualties in the ring, but we need casualties outside of the ring. Stratton set over the top rope. Stephanie trying to knock her down. Tiffany Stratton holding on for dear life. That Olympic level gymnast, that background, that strength playing in to her holding on to the ropes. Stephanie Vaquer, does she have enough left after eating that swanton bomb by Stratton moments ago? I don't think she does, as Stratton's able to create some distance. Oh, wait a minute here. Julia sending Stephanie Vaquer over the top rope. Stratton knocks Vaquer out of the ring. Julia and Tiffany gonna get credit for that, as Stephanie Vaquer has been eliminated. And we are down to 2. SmackDown's Julia rolls Tiffany Stratton, who's going to WrestleMania. Stratton familiar with the dance. Julia looking to make her trip for the first time. Mrs. Waddley with the forearm. Stratton hoists Julia up. Julia with the counter. Julia starting to unload. Tiffany Stratton being backed up. Nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. She's out of here.
Here is your winner, Julia.
What a performance. What survival by the beautiful Madness, Julia. She enters at number 3. She lasts all the way to the end. And exhilarating. What had to be exhausting competing in it. Final 3 with Stephanie and Stratton, but ultimately, Julia survives. The Women's United States Champion now makes more history as she is going to WrestleMania. Can't get enough universe mode? PLE kickoff shows, live events, all exclusive to Noah Nation Gaming channel members. Hit the join button down below and gain access to more universe than ever before. Well, what a night it has been inside the Mortgage Matchup Center in the Valley of the Sun, Phoenix, Arizona. Moments ago, the beautiful madness, Julia, punching her ticket to WrestleMania. Earlier tonight, the best in the world, CM Punk doing the same. It has been one hell of a night here at the Royal Rumble, the kickoff to the road to WrestleMania. But there is one match to go. Your main event is coming up next, and it's for the undisputed WWE Championship. The franchise John Cena will retire from this industry in just 38 nights at WrestleMania. He hopes to go out on top as the champion, but standing in his way is the hand-picked opponent for his final Royal Rumble event, the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes. In John Cena's eyes, Cody, the most deserving challenger tonight. We take you back to Survivor Series in November, where Cody Rhodes was a part of Team Cena against the Bloodline. Things came down to Cena and Cody versus The Rock and Roman. Cena taking care of Rock, Roman taking care of Cena. The pressure was on the shoulders of the American Nightmare Cody Rhodes up against the Tribal Chief, Roman Reigns. In the final moments of that traditional Survivor Series elimination matchup, it was the American Nightmare rising to the occasion in the world's most famous arena, defeating Roman Reigns and winning it all for Team Cena. In the coming weeks on Raw, John Cena would reveal that he would hand choose his opponent for his final Royal Rumble event. In his eyes, Cody Rhodes was the right man to square off with in Phoenix for the Undisputed Championship. Cody Rhodes has been vocal about winning an opportunity at the Gold since arriving on Monday Night Raw back in the fall. John Cena, the man who's held the title since SummerSlam, who will kickstart their road to WrestleMania as the undisputed WWE Champion.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. That is for the undisputed WWE Championship!
Wrestling has many.
It is main event time in Phoenix. And the challenger is making the ring walk. Cody Rhodes, the 2024 King of the Ring winner, a former United States champion, former multiple-time tag team champion, former world heavyweight champion, but never before the undisputed champion. Tonight, he looks to capture the gold, make history on the first premium live event of 2026. And you gotta believe the American Nightmare is ready for war. CM Punk winning the Royal Rumble matchup earlier tonight. Punk, personal close friends with both Cody Rhodes and John Cena. You gotta imagine, with how passionate Punk has been about getting back the Undisputed Championship, he has got a keen eye on this main event. And for the last time ever at a Royal Rumble event, the champ is in the house. The Never Seen 17, the franchise, John Cena. For the last 157 days since SummerSlam in August, John Cena has been your undisputed champion. In 38 nights, championship or not, he will retire at WrestleMania. But John Cena hopes to ride into the sunset as the Undisputed Champion on top of this industry, just as he told Cody Rhodes to his face on Monday Night Raw a number of weeks ago. The purple and orange, the colors of the Phoenix Suns, in the middle of the Mortgage Matchup Center. The champ is here. The challenger is set. The title is on the line in your 2026 Royal Rumble main event. We send things up to Alicia Taylor for your official introductions.
Introducing the challenger from Atlanta, Georgia, weighing in at 220 pounds, the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes. And his opponent from West Newbury, Massachusetts, weighing in at 251 pounds, the undisputed WWE Champion, the greatest of all time, John Cena.
We're on the road to Las Vegas, Allegiant Stadium, WrestleMania. It is your Royal Rumble main event. Who will start down the road to the showcase of the Immortals as the Undisputed Champion? Referee Adrian Butler wearing the stripes, hoisting the prize high in the sky. Cody Rhodes, John Cena, Phoenix, Arizona, right here, right now. The bell has sounded, of course, great respect between these two men. Tag team partners back at Survivor Series. Opponents tonight. The gold's on the line, and we are underway. Cody Rhodes and John Cena have been in the ring with each other before, dating back to the 2024 Survivor Series event. Cena had challenged Cody during his reign as the heavyweight champion of the world on SmackDown. Cody defeated Cena on that night. A year prior to that, these two men would meet for the United States title at the Clash at the Castle event. It was another victory for Cody on that night as well. So you gotta wonder if in the back of John Cena's mind, the history in recent years between these two men, although a great respect is weighing on Cena, wondering if he has what it takes to keep down what you gotta believe is gonna be a game Cody Rhodes. For all we know, John Cena looks at this matchup as a way to prove to himself that he can defeat Cody Rhodes. Maybe Cody is one of the biggest names left unchecked in John Cena's farewell tour, and Cena's looking to prove that he can beat the American Nightmare on his way out of this industry come March. Remains to be seen if John Cena is going to be able to do so, and only John Cena knows what's running through his own mind. What we do know is that these two men are going to bring their best, absolutely, for the richest prize in this industry, the time of the year that it is. Not the night to hold back against your opponent. Cody unloaded on Cena in the corner. Gotta wonder if Cody Rhodes is getting some eerie vibes being back here at the Royal Rumble event. It was last year that he actually lost the World Heavyweight Championship at this event in a brutalizing last man standing match to his old rival Drew McIntyre. Cody Rhodes, I'm sure, hoping for a much different result this year at the Royal Rumble. I'm sure hoping for a much more successful path to WrestleMania is the American Nightmare. We'll see who's standing tall with the championship on the other side of the bell as Cody Rhodes clearly looking confident against the franchise player. 38 days till Cena's going to put the jorts in the closet for good. He ain't looking to go out, looking weak. John Cena fighting back early here. Scooping a slam, and down goes Cody Rhodes. Michinoku driver Cena into the pinfall, only a 1 count that time on the American Nightmare. You know, Cena handpicking his opponent for the Rumble. He could have picked anybody in the Monday Night Raw locker room. He could have picked somebody who he feels more confident he can defeat. But he picked, dare I say, one of the best at Raw, how the best this industry has to offer in Cody Rhodes. Cena puts his own back against the wall tonight. This is the final time John Cena will compete here at the Royal Rumble event. And he wanted to make sure it was a great performance either way. Really back and forth since the opening bell between champion and challenger. Both men looking to set the pace for this matchup. Both men looking to get the upper hand. It's Cody now. Shoulder block to the abdominal. Look at him using the ropes to his advantage. Big time springboard into the tilt-a-whirl. A little bit of a flatliner variation by the challenger. Not a lot of sustained momentum for either man, as we mentioned. Back and forth since the opening bell, but that move right there may just give Cody Rhodes the edge. 157 days since John Cena won the championship back at SummerSlam. Tonight could be the final bow for Cena as the 17-time champion if Cody Rhodes has his way. Bulldog out of the corner. And only a 1 count again. Or just a 2, it seems, by referee Adrian Butler. Not enough either way you spin it. John Cena prepared for battle tonight. We've seen him accomplish some big feats just in 2025 alone. There's a reason you, the fans, voted John the 2025 Men's Superstar of the Year. Obviously having a lot to do with some of his great performances, and of course, that includes winning the WWE Championship from Braun Breaker back at SummerSlam in August. Cena starting to fight back, not allow Cody Rhodes to truly take over for a sustained period of time in this matchup. Springboard, stunner, Cena in position. Loaded up for a little 5-knuckle shuffle. Into the cover on the challenger. Closest pinfall we've had thus far. A straight 2 count, but not a 3. John Cena pulling out one of his best, the 5-knuckle shuffle on Cody Rhodes. Well, it might not have gotten the victory, and hell, I think John Cena knew it might not have gotten the victory. Tried for it anyway. Well, he certainly took an outside of Cody Rhodes, and they forced Cody to extend a little bit of energy off the kick out and then the German out of the corner. Cena had a lot of those Germans in his rivalry against the Ring General Gunther last year. Knows how effective they can be. Cena eyes locked on what looks to be a dazed Cody Rhodes at the given moment, but Cody trying to fight back. Cody here, avalanche Cody cutter! And now it's Cody going for the kill. And it's a kick out by Cena, 1 second closer to winning the Undisputed title by the challenger. And we knew we were going to be in for a good one between Cody and Cena. So far, so good on what has been an action-packed night here at the Royal Rumble. Road to WrestleMania begins. This time of year certainly brings out the best in the superstars in that locker room. The grandest stage of them all looming. Both of these men looking to headline the showcase of the Immortals, holding the richest prize this industry has to offer. Cody, springboard, got caught. Cena snatching Cody out of the air. Attitude adjustment. And Cody nearly got caught. Cody's WrestleMania dreams nearly went up in smoke. Phoenix, Arizona on their feet. Cody Rhodes went for that patented double spring crossbody, but John Cena obviously did his homework. Snatching Cody out of the air, catching him with the attitude adjustment, and continuing to keep the foot on the gas. Cena going back to the well with what has worked thus far. No wasted motion that time. Another 5-knuckle shuffle again. Oh, now Cena looking to up the ante that much more. Now it's John heading to the top rope. Precarious position here. Cena going for the patented leg drop, but he gets caught. Cody with a sit-out powerbomb. Now it's Cody with the well-timed reversal and nearly putting this match away. And you see the shock written all over the face of the American Nightmare. Cena went up for that leg drop, a signature out of his arsenal from the top rope. Cody Rhodes now the one who did his homework, catching John Cena. Beautifully executed powerbomb, but not enough to get the 3 count. Now it's Cena hoisted on top. Not by his own will, but by force. And Cody Rhodes Oh, man, looks like he's going to meet him up there. I don't like this for either superstar. Neck breaker off the top rope. That might have took nearly as much out of Cody as it took out of Cena, but effective either way you spin it. Cody goes behind. Crossroads to win the WWE title. Not just yet. Not just yet. Cena's still alive. The powerbomb moments ago. The fall away neck breaker from the heavens. And the crossroads, but somehow the never seen 17, dare I say, from my estimation, the greatest of all time, is still in the fight. Oh, well, Cody's now the one looking to up the ante. Coming to the outside for the first time the matchup and clearing off the announce table. Cody's realizing he's going to have to do, or I should say travel, to some extreme lengths if he's going to keep down the GOAT. We might have gave Cena a second or two of R&R, and that may come back to haunt Cody Rhodes. Look at Cena with a Frankensteiner. Cody Rhodes wiped out once more, coming to the outside to clear off the announce table. Did him no favors, and now Cena's going back up top. Risky business from the champion. Looks like he wants the leg drop, and Cena might have slipped off the top rope that time. Unfortunate position, but it's going to allow Cody Rhodes to calibrate. Inside cradle. Nearly stole the victory from John. Well, they don't call it high risk, high reward for nothing. Cena slipping off the top rope off that leg drop. Oh, but no mistakes to be made that time. Second attitude adjustment. Another kick out by Cody. Well, Cena making the most of that mistake a moment ago. Nearly got caught by Cody Rhodes, but able to think on his feet and strike with his best. A second attitude adjustment, however, doesn't put Cody down. And now it's Cena clearing off the opposite announce table. I think both Cody and Cena are realizing that they are going to need to push each other way past their limits tonight. Both tables cleared off here at ringside in the Mortgage Matchup Center. Cody put Roman Reigns through an announce table back at Survivor Series to aid Team Cena in victory. Cena and Cody now perched on the table. I don't like this for either man. Uh-oh. Cena clear off that table, and now we get sent through it with a pedigree by Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes breaking the count, knowing he cannot win the title via count out here. He's got to get Cena back inside the squared circle. Cena cleared off the announce table. Unfortunately, it came back to bite him. The pedigree, and now Cody Rhodes looks to be nearing Undisputed Championship glory. Cody looking for a second crossroads. But John Cena able to kick out. Cena's still alive. What a main event here at the Royal Rumble. John Cena put through the table. Another crossroads on top of it. And I don't even think Cody Rhodes can believe that the never seen 17 is still in this fight. Cody unloading a little bionic elbow. But does Cody have enough left in the tank to put John Cena away here? Cody bringing John into the corner. Cena, sense of urgency, starting to fight back. Shoulder blocked by John. Making a dose. You never throw a clothesline when you're dealing with John Cena. One more time at the Royal Rumble. 5 knuckles shuffle. That's it. Cody's out. This is over. Cody kicks again. John Cena's now the one left in utter disbelief. The rally by Cena. The 5-knuckle shuffle. Now Cody Rhodes sent to the apron. And now a fall from grace to the floor. Uh-oh. Cena, thinking about the slip-ups earlier. He's back on top. Third time's a charm. The leg drop to the outside. Cena has come alive. John Cena's fired up. I don't think he's done yet. He's turned his sights to the announce table. And Cody Rhodes being sent through the table that he cleared off with an attitude adjustment. No wasted motion. Cena bringing the challenger back to his feet. Cody back inside of the ring. Cena hustling up. Back into the lateral press. Oh, you gotta be kidding. You have gotta be joking. Cody Rhodes is back on his feet. Oh my goodness now. Cody with a last-ditch shot of pedigree. And Cody's not even going for the cover just yet. Cody realizes that if he goes for the cover, there's the slightest chance that Cena might come alive again. Cody's trying to raise his confidence, pick his spot wisely, but he can't give John too much R&R. Cannot hesitate to put down the GOAT. These two men jockeying for position. We're seeing yet another match of the year candidate here at the Royal Rumble. Close fist by John, not afraid to break things down to a brawl. Never, not once in his 25-year career. Cody perched on top by Cena. Cody may be dazed after all the close fist, and this is not good for Cody. Avalanche. Attitude adjustment. It put away Roman. It put away Rock. Cody's next. Or maybe not. Maybe not. The same AA that defeated Roman Reigns back at Bad Blood. The same AA that eliminated The Rock back in Survivor Series. Cody Rhodes somehow finding it deep down within him, in his heart, in his soul, to keep fighting for the undisputed prize. John Cena doesn't know what to do. John Cena has put so many superstars down throughout his Hall of Fame career with that attitude adjustment. Cena's going for another 5-knuckle shuffle, but Cody got the boot up. Cody takes Cena off his feet. Cody Rhodes, a battle cry heard round Phoenix. A signature out of the Rhodes arsenal. A shout out to his brother Dustin. And now one to the late great Dusty. Cody Rhodes is putting everything he has left in the tank behind each and every shot. And for a second time delivers the Cody Cutter from the heavens. And still not going for the cover. Think about the pedigree a few minutes ago. Now the Cody Cutter by the American Nightmare. Cody now dragging Cena's body into the corner. What could Cody possibly have in mind to put an exclamation point on this match? Oh, wait a minute here. Cody using Cena's own move. An attitude adjustment. Cody delivers an attitude adjustment off the ropes to John Cena. John Cena somehow is stirring, however. Cody into the schoolboy desperation pinfall. Cena kicks again. Cena back on his feet. Cody right there. Cody goes behind. Crossroads number 3. We have a new undisputed WWE champion. My my goodness, what a match. What a night here in Phoenix. For the last 157 days, we witnessed the 17th championship reign in the illustrious career of the franchise player John Cena. Cena hoped to carry that championship into his final night at WrestleMania in March. But unfortunately for the GOAT, in 38 days, Cena will walk into WrestleMania empty-handed. Cena handpicked his opponent. He wanted the highest competition for his final Royal Rumble. He picked the most deserving man, that being Cody Rhodes. And tonight, in flying colors, in a war of attrition that we will not soon forget, the American Nightmare outlasts the never-seen 17. And as we kickstart the road to WrestleMania, Cody Rhodes takes his rightful spot at the top of this industry as the undisputed WWE Champion.
Here is your winner in the new undisputed WWE Champion, the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes.
Anything can happen on the road to WrestleMania. A road that began right here tonight in the Valley of the Sun. And Cody Rhodes has accomplished his lifelong dream. The championship that he set course for the night he arrived on Monday Night Raw several months ago. We leave you with this. After an historic-making Royal Rumble event, live from the Mortgage Matchup Center in Phoenix, Arizona, we start down the path to Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas in March for WrestleMania with a brand new, undisputed champion of the WWE, the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes.